Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Nest Podcast. I am Canary, and I'm joined by.
The Mars.
And for our first topic, we're going to talk about the Star Wars in general. I guess the newest trilogy, to be exact. But
Well, I guess we're gonna dissect the last
yeah,
movie, The Last Jedi.
mostly,
Which,
but kind of throw everything together for the most part.
yeah, I don't know. I kind of want to take a crack at it, like from like just a standpoint of like what the movie itself, like not even like story or anything, but just like how it was filmed, directed, and the shots and stuff. Because I don't know, that fascinates me. And like, I don't know, like overall, I feel like visually it looked really well. Like it looked really well done. Like I was happy with the way it looked. There
Well,
was
yeah,
nothing that
I
like
don't think
stood out to me
anyone
like the
complains.
CGI was shit or anything.
I don't think anyone complains. I don't think anybody even complained about like the original trilogy. Like back then, that was like
Well, yeah,
groundbreaking. But like,
but I don't know. I feel like the directors are doing a great job with their shots at least. Like it's not like it's done
well,
poorly.
the issue isn't with the directors though. It's just the fact that there's a new director every movie, and you can't like.
Well, yeah, I also got new writers too, so it's like I mean I don't even know it because it'd be interesting to know the extent of like whether they like talk to each other, or if it's just like they get brought onto this project, or then they're just done, or if it's like like they're just
Oh, I don't know.
well I'm done with the movie later.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like them not communicating or if like they talk about their points, but they don't respect each other's decisions enough. I don't know because I mean there's plot holes in like the Force Awakens, like the you could literally watch the latest, the Last Jedi, and you probably wouldn't even have any issues watching it. Like you could watch it without like being like, I don't know why this is happening.
Yeah, I mean there's honestly like there's just besides like just figuring out why Finn was coming out of that like little coma thing. Like there's no real reason. Like nothing. It feels like nothing in Force Awakens happened. Like besides Solo dying, like that was like the only thing that was relatively significant. And even that is just like, oh okay, like that happened.
Yeah, but like I don't know. I mean, it's a big point for Kylo's character, on the dark side and stuff. But at the same time, like you could, like if you were like a kid and you didn't know who Han Solo or Luke Skywalker was, you'd be like, okay, like I don't know why I care that this guy died, and then I'm just like, all right, but
Yeah, like it just feels like the beginning of another movie as well, like a whole other trilogy. Like it didn't feel like a
yeah, it didn't feel
secondary
like they
step
just
to
like
like a
continued
whole story.
on. I felt like the beginning was pretty good, and then it like progressively just like got off track. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. Because like I don't know. I feel like they just no one has any idea what they're doing with any of these characters, and there's just like there's all these like weird scenes thrown in there that like are supposed to develop the character, but then like it's never
Yeah,
referencing
it's just
or
like,
like
all right, we'll pick this up later, but it's never picked back up again.
yeah. I mean, you got the whole scene at the beginning of the freaking Force Awakens where Poe like gets information from the dude and then just kills him like in the street like at the back alley, and like he's just like to kind of prove like show that he's like not afraid to do like bad things for the cause kind of thing, which is like okay cool, like I get that, like that's part of his character. But like the only other time that ever comes up is like when he's kind of when he's on the ship in the Last Jedi and like they're trying to find a plan or whatever. Which that whole scene was just ridiculous to me. It's
Yeah,
like he like basically like mutinies the ship and takes over the ship and stuff. But like the chick had a plan the whole time, so I'm not sure why she wasn't just like, "Hey, bud, this is what we're doing,"
I felt
instead
like
of
that
having
was
him
it
like.
had to have been filler, right? Like,
I mean, there was no reason though. Like, why was she keeping the plan from him? Like, what? He asked what the plan was, and then she was just like, everyone else was in on the plan. Like, everyone else was like, yeah, this is the plan. But for whatever reason, she was just like, nah, fuck this Poe guy. Like,
well, I guess it's
I'm not gonna
I
do it.
don't know if she just didn't know the context because right before that, that was like Leia was like, all right, you're demoted. I can't trust you. Like, I guess that's where she was trying to come from, but at the same time, that whole thing is kind of pointless.
Well, yeah, because it'd be like, what? There's like maybe less than 100 people in the Rebel cause. Like, is security really that much of an issue?
Dude, I
Like,
think there's like
everyone is
20
on that ship.
people in the Rebel cause. Like,
Like, seriously. So, like, why is security even a thing? Like, if someone leaks it, like, you'll just kind of look like, no, like, you'll just obviously, like, so, like, I don't know. That whole, like, scene just made no sense to me. And it was very quickly just, like over with because Leia was just like, oh, I'm fine, it's cool.
Yeah, I just went to vacuum of space and did some kind of Mary Poppins shit, and I'm okay now.
Yeah.
Like,
And, like I like that scene. Like it was really cool seeing like the ship like explode into hyperspace. Like that was so fucking cool.
yeah.
Like I love that shot.
No, it
Like,
was awesome.
I don't know. I've always like wondered like what that would look like, and I feel like they shot it like really well. Like that's feasibly what it could look like.
Yeah, it's
So
not.
that was cool, but like it just felt like the build up to that was so fucking pointless.
And there was no point for it either. Like okay, it's like okay, cool. Carrie Fisher's character is gonna die. Like everybody expected this to happen because I mean she's dead. Like.
Oh yeah, no, and then she was just like, and then the Force was just like, nah, we're gonna live. And like I don't know if that was like her using the Force or like the Force just woke her up or like what, because like she was like frozen solid. Like
I mean, I guess you could make the thought that maybe Luke saved her. Like I just thought of this, but like they have like some kind of like Force telepath thing
like the connection and stuff
going on that maybe.
I don't know, man. Like even that's a stretch. Like if that's what they were gonna try and do, like I don't know. I feel like that would be even like worse than just her just randomly using the.
Well,
Force.
there's a lot of things about this movie that actually happened that are a stretch too, though. Like.
Well, yeah, I mean, but like, I just feel like if that's what their argument is for like why she just like was able to Mary Poppins her way back into the ship.
Yeah, I mean, I want to preference that I do like the movie. I just feel like it could have been done better. Like.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean,
I don't want people to like think that we just hate Star Wars and we're like, this is fucking stupid. Like, no.
No, like I love the movie, and I like the fact that they're trying to explore new stuff. I just feel like they're not like nothing's cohesive. Like it's all just scatterbrained. Like,
yeah, it's like I don't know. Like it kind of looks like one of those like FBI like boards where they're trying to connect the dots to the killer. Like.
Yeah, they're just like. They got all these pictures up on a poster board somewhere with just strings attached to everything.
Yeah.
I mean, like, the stuff that... Because, like, the other thing that bothers me about the whole Leia scene is, like, the ship exploded. Like, it wasn't just, like, the hole in the ship and they just all got stuck. Like, it exploded.
Yeah, there's shrapnel, there's, like God knows what
totally
else.
peachy fine. I mean, she went in like that weird coma thing or whatever the hell that was, but I don't know if that was just because she used the Force powers.
I mean, I know that like Force sensitives, like just based off of like legends and stuff, like they have like this like little bit of Force like protection type thing where like they're safe from like rocks and smaller things like that. Like it just doesn't.
Like basic stuff. Like,
just like yeah, but like they. A blaster shot's gonna fucking hit him regardless or whatever. Like, I don't know. But,
yeah.
Well, like, it's not really clear that Leia knows anything about the Force at this point.
No.
Other than, like, she
they don't
knows...
even, like, touch on that either. Like, no one is just like, oh, hey, how'd you do that? Like, she just warped back in, and then they were just like, welcome back. And
yeah, nobody questioned the fact that she was literally, like, outside for a good, like, 2 minutes.
Yeah, and like I understand they can't just like stop the movie and be like, "Hey, Leia, why did you, But like there was like plenty of time in later movies, but like no one just even questioned it.
You couldn't have just been like for a second where they would have been like, they questioned it, but she was like, "I'll explain later," and it's like, okay, that's fine, but no, it's just like.
At least like that it acknowledges whether it's a normal seat or like a normal
Or does she just do this shit like she just get bored in her ship and just fucking go outside and vacuum the space and just chill for a few minutes and then come back inside?
Like, right? Like, I don't know. It seems so weird.
She's just outside walking her dog and the vacuum the space.
Oh. There's just a bunch of dogs she had floating around in space.
And then there's a lot of things with Rey too that don't make sense. Like that whole dark side mirror thing.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck that was. And then like, yeah, that was just weird. Like I don't understand what the point of that was. If I like it was supposed to show her parents, but then I guess the Force isn't the answer for who her parents are. But like, this whole scene seemed like redundant because I get that like those like weird scenes like that have been in like almost every movie. And I don't know why. Like they've all never been confusing. Like they're all always have been confusing and just like.
Yeah, I mean maybe it's to make us think, and maybe J.J. Abrams will come back, in the last movie and make it all make sense. I don't know.
hopefully someone ties like a beautiful giant bow on this, but just everything fucking makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I want to sound like an idiot for saying all these things, when 2020 or 2019, whatever the movie comes out. I don't know.
Yeah.
Whenever that.
2019, end of 2019, I believe.
Yeah. So, I mean, I want to sound like an idiot for hating on this movie, but like the big triggering point for me is Luke. Like, his character was being almost rebuilt to, like,
and
what?
then they just like threw it away.
Yeah, they're like, this is fun. Like, the whole, like, end of The Force Awakens is like, oh shit, there's Luke. Like, what does he know now? Like, he's been doing this for 40-something years, I think, or something like that at that point. Like, you can't tell me that he just spent, like, you know, he spent, I don't know how many years with those kids on this temple or whatever, but, you know, what happened after that? You expect me to believe that, like, this happy-go-lucky guy, like, the leader of the last rebellion, is just having a pity party because he made a mistake?
Yeah, and then, like, I don't know, like, he was just, like, a bitter old dude, and, like, he seemed kind of crazy.
And he shut himself off from the Force entirely, like he had no connection to it.
Yeah, so I don't know, it just seemed like a weird direction to take that character.
Yeah, and then, like...
And, like, I know, like, Hamill's would come under fire because, like, he tweeted out, he was all, like, you know, he didn't like the direction he was taking it, but, like, he
No, but, like, I feel like most fans feel that way. Like, Luke is... Like, he's done some crazy shit, like, in the comics. Like, he closed a black... Like, he opened a black hole with the Force. Like...
well, yeah, but I mean, like, Disney was like, you know, fuck that, no, that's canon, so, like, they can't use it for... But, like, I don't know, would you not be able to go back and use some of that references, though?
No, they do, though. Like, they have, like, a new novel that's canon where they bring back this general that's only in EU. Like, they're slowly bringing this stuff back. Like, so everybody was like, okay, they're gonna do this. Like, they're gonna make him, like, a gray Jedi. Like, he's gonna notice that all points of the Force are needed. You know, he's gonna fix this and make it different and not, like, cut and dry, like, good is bad and, you know, whatever. Because Kylo doesn't think he's a bad guy. He thinks he's doing...
Just, like, he's a guy who just wants to, like, fix the galaxy in, like, a weird sort of way.
Yeah, like, he just sees things differently than the world, and he doesn't... Like, he's...
Like, I like Kylo's character. Like, I feel like he has a really good character go.
No, that's, like, the one thing I don't have a gripe about. Like, he's actually, like, doing pretty good for the character. Like, the character's pretty consistent.
Yeah, I mean, I love Adam Driver. I've seen a couple other movies he's been in, but, like, he like, so, like, I have no issue with his acting. Like, that's not an issue. It's just, like, the writing of his character is, I don't know, it's different. Like, cause I like the dialogue when Kylo and Rey were, like, connected through, I guess Snoke's doing was, like, why they were connected.
like Force FaceTime? Like, I don't know, but...
Yeah, but I like that dialogue. That I don't know why, but I brought, like, a lot of character to them. Like, it's just, like, especially when he shows up with, like, his whole, like, shirtless scene, which is fucking hysterical to me.
Yeah.
And she's all like, do you have, like, anything to put on, like a cloak or anything? And he's all like, I really don't want to do this now. And, like, just, I don't know why, but, like, I love those scenes. It brought a lot of character to everyone, but then it was just like...
Yeah, no, like, I don't know. It's all, this whole movie is just bad communication. Like, if you're gonna have, like, I don't know, there's, what, more than 3 directors on this movie, right? Like, there's...
On the single movie?
Like, on the, like, the whole trilogy, like, there's more than 3, right?
Oh, yeah, no, I'm pretty sure, yeah, no, I think everyone is different. Unless...
But isn't there, like, more than one? Like, in one of the movies or something? I swear, like, one of them has... I feel like I read that somewhere, but if I would have thought that I would have thought of this, I would have looked it up before, but...
Okay, no, so J.J. Abrams did The Force Awakens, and he's slotted to do whatever.
So there's only 2 directors, then?
Yeah.
What's the point of that?
I don't fucking know. Well, I think what it was like they didn't, because I don't know, even like from like a director standpoint, to like fill the shoes of Star Wars, like to come back after this long, because you've got a new audience to please, you got an old audience to please, you got like an even older generation to please,
Yeah,
and so I
no,
imagine Disney was
there's
like, hey, we
this
might
will
want
be
to
like the
have like
third
new stuff.
generation that grew up with Star Wars or some stuff like that, right? Like I get it, like it's a hard thing to do. I just feel like you shouldn't make it harder, just because like the what was it, the prequels that did that, or is it all of them?
But no, the prequels, all of them were directed by George Lucas.
Okay, so
In
it's
fact,
just
like,
it's the original trilogy then, right?
yeah, so the original trilogy, A New Hope, was directed by George Lucas, and then it was Ivan Kirchner and Richard Marquand. Marquand. I don't know how you pronounce that.
Okay, well then are
But
they
like,
doing this because everyone like bagged on the
but,
prequels? Because I know people did. Like I know people.
but see, the difference is George Lucas wrote the like he was involved in the story in the prequels and the originals. Where this one has, besides, I mean, J.J. Abrams is in the for the Force Awakens and then in episode was that 9, and well, Ryan Johnson did just the he directed and wrote the Last Jedi. But the interesting
Okay.
thing is like Disney greenlit a fucking trilogy for this guy.
Okay, then what happened there?
Wait, what?
Like, well, if they greenlit the trilogy for him, then why did they just?
Oh, no. Like, so I don't know if you heard, but like after episode 9 happened, there's like another Star Wars trilogy that is completely separate from anything we've ever like doesn't involve Skywalkers at all. It's like a whole separate story.
Oh
Like new
no,
characters,
I don't think
nothing,
I've heard of
everything else.
that.
I mean, I don't know. I assume like the planets and stuff might be similar, but it's like a whole other story.
So it's kind of like Rogue One, but not.
It's sort of in a way, but it has nothing to do with any of the stuff that we've seen in Star
Okay,
Wars.
so it's just like they exist maybe, but they're not really shown. I guess kind of thing.
Yeah, no one really has any details of it, but like apparently he wrote like a whole trilogy out, and like Disney was like, yeah, go for it.
Well, I know people are like there's talk about that there's a actually I think it's approved that there's like a Obi-Wan show like movie coming out or something.
Oh yeah, I haven't
I
heard
think
anything
that's a
about that.
fact. I mean, I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure it's like a thing that's happening.
Well, apparently the fucking Solo movie is supposed to come out like in a few months. Which is insane. Because we haven't seen like, any trailer for that.
Yeah, no, it's supposed to Obi-Wan Kenobi spin-off film start shooting in 2019. So I guess that's a thing. I mean, I don't know if you see that. I mean, I'm not like going super hard into it, right? Like I'm not. Did it die? All right, sorry, we're back. A little audio problems, but anyway. Um. Okay, so I was talking about the movie. It is apparently confirmed to be shot in 2019, but
That's interesting. Do we have any? I mean, I assume there's just no information about that because I doubt casting is even remotely an issue now.
well, they're like they want the what's his name? It's like McGregor, right, or something like that. Is that the guy?
Ewan,
Yeah, it's the guy in the prequels. They want that guy.
the guy who played fucking Anakin. No,
No,
not Anakin.
no, they want the guy
Fucking
that played Obi-Wan to play the.
Obi-Wan.
Yeah, they don't like. I don't know. I don't even know if the old guy in the originals is he still alive? Like, is he still? I don't know.
Well, no, so like I guess that depends on like what time period they're gonna do.
Apparently it's like
Because obviously it has to be.
a
Obviously,
majority of his life. Like it's like not just like one little time period. It's like
Well, I mean, I suppose with like all the
Let
CG
me
stuff that we
see.
got going on now, we can CG his age and stuff, so it's not really an issue.
Let me see.
Because I mean, we got fucking the whole Carrie Fisher thing in Rogue One, where she wasn't even on set, and we still got like, fucking.
Yeah, I mean, there's like people that like that commander guy, like in the Rogue One that they like CGI'd his whole thing in with like the family's
Oh yeah.
consent or whatever. Like,
Yeah. So I guess age isn't a problem; they can kind of go wherever. But
I
yeah,
feel
that'd
like
be
you
kind of
don't even
interesting.
like you can pretty much make anybody anymore. Like, it's not a problem. It's just a matter of.
I mean, it still stands out. Like you can still tell, but like it's
Well,
not
yeah.
horrible.
I'm trying to see. Like, I know I was looking at it, but there's just not enough information to go
Well,
on.
yeah. I mean, there's probably not going to be very much information for a little while.
And
Anyways.
I mean, like you were mentioning before your mic cut out, like that Han Solo movie that's supposed to be happening. Like, I don't even know, is that still happening? Like, is that?
Yeah, it's supposed to come out May 25th, but like there's rumors for reshoots, and then like a lot of people are thinking that they're going to move it back because I guess fucking Deadpool 2 is supposed to open up the same weekend. So
Oh
people
yeah,
are busy,
yeah.
so
Everybody's just
people are
gonna go
thinking
see
they're just
Deadpool.
gonna kick it back.
Yeah.
But like the weird thing is like we haven't seen any like teaser trailers, no nothing. Like even the posters that are like hanging around some like really obscure theaters and stuff are just like really simple, just like Han Solo, and then like with a star in the background, and then, like it's just like super fucking simple. Like there's nothing to it.
Yeah.
It's weird.
I don't know,
Like, I
but
think we saw like a Force Awakens trailer like a year before the fucking movie even came out, and it was like a simple teaser, like just hey, this is the thing, like.
well, I think there's like a trailer on here. It's I don't want to click on it because it'll start playing in the audio, but um. I remember watching it, but I don't like. It seemed like he was younger, but then he like progressively got older. But I'm not like 100%. But I don't know. I feel like they're like milking this whole Star Wars thing a little too much sometimes. But
Well, I mean, as soon as Disney got a hold of it, I figured they would, because.
I mean, you could
But
argue
yeah,
that there are kids that have no idea about any of this stuff, but they could just go back and watch. They could watch. They could watch it in order now, like. Because I mean,
yeah,
like
there's no evidence.
the older
There's no official
generation,
trailer
like
out.
they started with Luke, right, and then
Yeah.
yeah, so they like the movies were like way out of order at first, but now kids they
And,
could just watch it in order if they wanted to. It's not a problem. Like I don't know. I mean, I get it. But it's gonna be interesting, and I want to go see it. But at the same time, it's like, are you milking this too hard?
yeah, I mean that goes because, like I said, I'm totally fine with more Star Wars. Like I love Star Wars.
No, I mean I do
It just
too.
it needs to be taken care of. Like they
It's
can't just
no. I
milk the
guess my
shit out of
problem is
it
I don't
and
want them just to beat the shit out of it and then be like,
it become a thing that we all just hate because it's no one gives a shit about it anymore. Like I don't want these writers to just write something because they get a fat paycheck. You
yeah,
don't want writers.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of something that did that, but I can't. I don't know. I can't think of the top of my head, but it's like something that's there, but I can't think of it.
I mean, there's like fucking Aragon, like that whole Inheritance Cycle trilogy, like, or it's not even a trilogy. Fuck, I think there's like 4 books in that one.
You're talking about the dragons, right?
Yeah, the dragon one.
Yeah, there's like
I don't know,
it's
the
like
characters are kind
yeah.
of cliche, but like I don't know, it was cool. Like I read the shit out of that book, like I loved it.
No, I read
about
all
it.
of
Was
them.
just
There's like Aragon, like eldest, and Bersinger,
Aragon,
and then
Eldest,
there's
Bersinger,
and then there's a black dragon that I can't. Yeah, so there's like 4 books.
Yeah, 4 books. Yeah, I have all 4 sitting next to me.
And they're like, everybody loves this shit. Let's just make a really fucking cheesy ass movie and call it good.
I mean, a lot of people bag on like the books because like it's all cliches. Like the characters are like just same characters from other stuff. But like I don't like yeah, who gives a fuck? Like I don't know. I liked it. And I feel like the scope of the movie could have been like easily up there with Lord of the Rings. Like not obviously Lord of the Rings has like its own like.
I don't know, man. You better
like,
watch out. People are
stuff.
like, you can bash on Star Wars, but you don't want to fuck with Lord of the Rings. People will fucking come at you.
No, I'm certainly not saying it would be better than Lord of the Rings, but like it could have been like that, like 4-hour long movie where it had just like everything, which is very cool. But like even besides that, like whether like playing the movie, like they just totally fucked the story. Like they just like they didn't even like read the book, like you sort of thing. Like that was my gripe with it. Like it felt
Yeah,
very
no, I mean, I love the like. It was like one of the first like big books I ever read.
yeah. I think
Like
I read it like I think it was I think that came out like around the time where either Harry Potter was ending or in between like the sixth and seventh book or something like that. So I was like reading that in between the
mhm.
Harry Potters.
Yeah, it was something
And
like
like
that, and Twilight was
yeah,
like picking up traction. Like I think they were on their like it was either on Eclipse or and a Breaking Dawn was coming out. I can't remember. Like it was in between that.
yeah, it was somewhere in like that midst of that I read these and like I think my aunt gave me like the first book and she just said it was cool and I was like, all right, cool, dragons, because like I don't know, I've always been obsessed with dragons and
Like
that
like
was
for me, like I wasn't like so like I didn't really care about the human characters that much. Like the dragons had like their own personalities and it was cool. Like they I don't know.
yeah, like how they could talk with everyone and they had like and like could even like they had their own opinions of the world. Like it wasn't just like they acted through their like they were just
Yeah,
like
it
yeah
wasn't.
this is
I guess you could say that like to train your dragon is kind of like that. I know it's like really like childish, but
no, yeah. I read How to Train Your Dragon as a kid. Like I didn't even think it would become like a kids series per se. Like when I read it, it was a book, and it was like
yeah,
I
no,
don't know.
I read it
I don't know
too.
why, but like I read it like forever ago, so I don't even know like remember what I like.
I think
What
that
I pictured them
I'll
as.
look this up real quick to make sure before I say it, but
Cause like I don't know, they I read just like fucking every dragon book that my library had, like when I was in middle school, cause I don't know, that was fun to me, and so I read like all these books, and like they're like I saw How to Train Your Dragon was coming out, and I was like, oh yeah, I read that book, and then I went and saw it, and like I didn't really remember much of the book because I was reading a lot, so I just didn't really like. Not that it was bad and didn't register, it was just more of like a.
oh yeah, I don't know where I was getting that from, but yeah, no, it was really cool. I don't know, like I still love the movies. Like I watch them all the time, and my wife
The
makes
How to
fun of
Train
me
Your
all
Dragon.
the time for it, like. Because I mean, I think it's really cool. Like it's like a kid can get into it, and an adult can easily get into it too. Like it's not so. It's
Yeah,
childish
like
enough where a kid could watch it without like a parent being like, "What the hell is that?" But you know, where parents can get into it. Like it's a perfect family movie, I guess.
yeah, exactly. There's not like totally over the top and all this stuff. Like, I don't know,
Yeah, it's not
it's
like the
fun.
power of friendship and my dragons. Like,
Yeah, it's like there's actual like a story to it, like a decent like themes and stuff like that. Like,
yeah.
yeah, that was it.
But
Second one
anyway,
was like a whole other issue, but
I guess
sorry,
before we
talk
get
about
on a
that.
tangent about how, like dragons, now we better.
Yeah, I was like, we got way the fuck up.
I don't know. I guess like I don't know. What's your? Are you done with this whole Star Wars thing? I mean, like the other thing is like I love the movie. Just what the hell are you? What are you gonna do with Luke? Like, is he gonna be a Force ghost now? Like you, this like one director made the decision for, J.J. Abrams. Like I don't know.
Yeah, like that's what I want to know is like if they actually like talk to each other. Like if JJ Abrams was like, hey man, like if you do this with Luke, and then I can take it this direction, or if he's just like, you know what, I'm gonna fucking kill Luke, and JJ Abrams is gonna have to deal with it.
Because I felt like J.J. Abrams kind of had like this whole like idea in his head, right? Like I'm gonna do this. Like it felt like that coming into the first movie. I loved it. Like it was like,
Yeah, I was like, all
holy
right, this
shit! Like
feels
this
like a
could
start of
work
the
out. I
movie.
don't know where this is going. But
Yeah. So
yeah,
then I don't know. I did like the whole like that whole fucking fight scene was like really cool. Like when they all shot at Luke and like those whole dust everywhere. Like I expected like some kind of Force bullshittery to happen that he like survived that, or like he was just like the lightsabers knocking the blast away or something. I
uh-huh.
was like, okay, obviously he's not just gonna die in a fucking rain of fire like that. Like that would just be dumb. So when he brushes off, like that was really cool, and like they didn't really explain like how he did that. I was like, all right, fine. So then he fights Kylo, and that scene was cool. I really liked like the scenery around him when that happened.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
then like
in that comedy where he was like obviously trying to like get
just
Kylo
like
to come
fuck with
down.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like he was just totally like trolling him like that. I like that. Like I thought that was funny. Yeah, like Because to me, that seemed like Luke just like had all this power stored with him, and he
Yeah, I was
knew
like,
that he
oh
could just
shit,
fuck
like
this
here he
guy's head off.
comes, this all-powerful Grand Jedi is about to like mop the floor with this kid. Like,
Yeah, and I was like so ready to see that. And, like the fight scene was kind of like it was cool, like it was good, but it certainly wasn't like anything super spectacular that I was expecting. And then also it was like you find out that he's like a ghost Luke, and I'm just like, I don't know. I feel like to me that totally invalidated like everything. Like that was just like what a waste of my.
well, I mean, it was
time.
cool, right? Like, it was fun, I guess. Like, I was
Yeah.
okay with it, and then like he dies. I'm like, and spoiler alert.
Yeah, that was the other thing. It's like I guess I probably would have been okay with it if like he just kind of was like, all right, I saved them. Now I can kind of try and figure out my way back to them. But then he just like fucking ghosts, and then I'm just like, oh, okay, so I guess we're just done with this character now.
I mean, and another thing I loved was that red sand. Like, that was awesome. Like,
Oh yeah, with all the just like salt or whatever.
yeah, that's like
With the
salt
fire
with
and
the
the-
weird, like the
Yeah.
ancient like sand speeder things. I don't know what they're called, but
Yeah, that was a really cool shot. Like you could see like the red trails and everything. That was just.
of course, then
awesome.
again, like that new love interest they got going on kind of ruined that for me. Like, I
They
don't.
just like pulled it out of their ass somewhere. Like I don't even.
Yeah.
Oh, that was. It's just I don't know. Like they have like the whole they tease like the whole like Finn and Rey might kind of be a thing, which is like whatever, you know. And then like they just bring this other character, which is like I don't know. It was,
But I mean, that brings it back to your original point. Did J.J. Abrams originally want that, and then
Yeah, exactly. Like, this feels like there's just such a disconnect between the two movies. Because like I feel like when you watch like the original and then like the prequels, like they're all connected. Like you could like tell like, oh, this happened because this happened in this movie. It all feels like basically one giant movie with like obviously like
yeah,
arcs in between you know. Like there's just I don't know. To me like it just feels like there's such a disconnect between the other movie and like this one. Like it just feels like two totally separate movies.
yeah. I mean, they stand alone by themselves, and it's like, I feel like this movie might just be the odd one out where it's like, you can watch The Force Awakens and then the movie that is yet to come out, and it makes all sense. Like, are they just gonna like?
Well, yeah, but then it depends on what J.J. Abrams does with the ninth one, because then if he does stuff based off The Force Awakens or off the... Because he's obviously going to have to acknowledge that Luke's dead and, like, that they're basically just...
Yeah, but I mean, they could also just be like, he's not dead because the Force.
I mean, that was the thing ever. He's just, like, just reapparates on, like, a planet and just solid again for some...
Well, I guess before we get on this topic, like, right in that scene where, like, Kylo is talking, like, with Snoke and Rey, like, when she gets captured or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Like, just... And then he's, like, reading his mind or whatever, and he's, like, saying that he's striking down his enemy or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people were saying that Snoke wanted that to happen. Like, he knew what was about to happen.
I don't know, like, because like, the whole thing with, like, the whole mind trick thing is, like, he was also facing his saber and fucking Leia's saber, or not Leia, Rey's saber at the same time. So like that was the whole mind trickery thing. Like, I think that's the extent of like the mind trickery. Like,
And it could be, but like the point of that was that like Snoke's body's obviously like really fucked up.
Yeah.
Like outside of his force abilities, he's probably pretty weak. He's kind of like Yoda, I guess, in a sense.
Yeah, like because obviously it didn't look like he was about to go run a fucking marathon.
Yeah, so like people were saying that maybe he wanted to die because he wanted to become like the Sith equivalent to a Force ghost, I guess, of some sort, but that doesn't really exist, but I guess they can make it happen, I don't know.
Well then, I don't know, because I mean you have Yoda who comes in and fucking makes this lightning strike a goddamn tree.
Well, I mean,
So
he also
obviously
hit
some
Luke
sort
with
of-
his cane or whatever, but yeah.
So like obviously they have to have like some sort of physical contact. So like I don't know if they're just gonna like take that to like the 10th level and just like make it to where
I don't know, I hope this next one's not like some kind of Force Ghost orgy where they're like...
It's just everyone's dead, everyone's just fighting in the afterlife. Nothing even matters anyways. They're just swinging at each other. And
Yeah, it's
swinging.
like, oh, you're dead, oh, he's back. It's like Star Wars Call of Duty edition, like, I don't know. But anyway, anyway, so I guess we'll swing on to that next topic, which this middle topic has changed a handful of times, but it's probably just because I'm sick of certain things.
Just ridiculously sick of certain things.
Yeah, so I mean, the next topic is just that whole like Shane Dawson thing. You know, the only reason I even care that much is because I grew up watching him, but I still watch him with my wife, and you know, I don't know.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
guess it hit
like
close
I
to home.
like I never really like watched him religiously or anything, but like I was aware of his content. Like it's all like very edgy, like back in the day. Like he's aware of that. Like he's.
No, he's called himself out. Like he's like that joke was tasteless, like bullshit. Like it was edgy. He was just looking for anything to be a laugh, and that's fine. That's who he used to be, and that's people grow. Like
Yeah, exactly. It's like I feel like we shouldn't hold him. But like that whole. Like what was your point? Like what do you want to bring this up?
well, I mean, I guess I'll just bring up everything because I mean, there's that whole like thing where that channel was like, you know, like apparently told to do this, but like it's not really
Yeah, it was
proven.
like some like fucking assassination attempt or some shit like that. I don't know. That just felt like a really weird scrambling to try and like save a channel or just get views or something. I don't know.
I mean, it very well could be, but I mean, he also calls out like a lot of powerful people in Hollywood, like you know, and he has a pretty you know good enough following where he might be able to do a dent in someone's like career behind the scenes, you know, not enough to where like
Yeah, but I mean, it's not like this is fucking iDubbbz is the same thing. Like it's not just specifically YouTubers.
I mean that's
Like
I mean that's fair, but like all his things are conspiracy things. iDubbbz is like I'm gonna hit you here and you're gonna feel it and you're not gonna be able to say anything about it because it's all
well, yeah,
true.
'cause it's all factual and stuff. Where
Yeah, I mean I don't know. iDubbbz is like pretty great. Like he's so blunt, but I don't know.
yeah, I mean he like gets he just basically quit your bullshit, but like
I mean I guess he's like the Phil DeFranco version of Drama Alert. Like I don't know, kind of.
but I guess like this like Shane like the problem is like a lot with the stuff that Shane has going on like it's all in Hollywood and stuff is such behind like closed doors in Hollywood that, like there's no way for him to even like get facts and even if he does get facts like there's no way for him to like verify that like so I feel like it's good that he's bringing up issues you know like with shit that goes on over there but you know there's no way for him to be
Well, I mean his thing is like he just kind of goes really nuts into it. Like he kind of like goes into the really deep theories, and sometimes they end up being true. And like he talks about like there's this I think her name's like I don't know, you might have heard about this because I mean it's kind of close to where like you know around where you live like but so like you know this lady like there's this hotel and this young girl like she gets drunk or whatever and there's like this footage of her just like eventually walking into the freezer and it locking behind her.
walk-in freezer.
Yeah, it's a walk-in freezer and it ends up shutting and she like apparently freezes to death.
What the fuck I haven't heard about that.
Yeah, it's like I don't know, like I'm not trying to be like racist, but she's like a African American, so she has like her name's like Shanique or some crap like that. Like I really just can't pronounce it.
Yeah, I got you.
But basically, she gets lured into. Looks like if you watch the footage, it looks like she's following someone. It's like voice or something.
What the fuck? What kind of like is this like some found footage bullshit?
Yeah,
like,
no, this is shit that's like in the hotel. Okay, like this is actual footage of the hotel.
and like there's like a police case for this, I assume.
Yeah, there's like this is like proven footage that is actually from the hotel. And like
she's
there's
just, like walking the halls and then just takes.
yeah, and she's you know blasted out of her mind. Obviously, like she's on something. Like I think it's just alcohol, but she's like a little girl, so like small for. So she was gone, and then she just eventually follows it into the kitchen where this freezer is, and like there's cameras on every angle of this hotel up until you get to that freezer, and there's just conveniently not a camera in that corner. Like that's the whole argument is like.
Why is there cameras everywhere else but that fucking freezer?
Not sure. Like the last time we brought it up, I think he said that there was like a camera by the freezer, but they said it didn't work or something, some bullshit like that.
Oh, that's funny.
And the whole theory is that like this hotel is working with like organ black market traffickers or whatever.
Oh, what the shit?
Yeah. So.
See, like the nutty thing is like I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, and then
Like I would just be like, okay, like
and
that.
the mom of this girl,
Yeah,
she's like distraught, like God bless her heart, like she's like so upset, like you know, months and months later, which I would understand, like that's your child, and you have no idea what the hell happened to her, but
well, yeah.
and she like they eventually like dig back up her body and like they find out that she has like newspapers in her body, which I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a coroner. Like I don't know if that's normal.
I don't think so because I'm pretty sure they just drain it and they just fuck it.
I
But
think
I
they
mean, like,
clean your
I
body
don't.
out, but I mean, I really don't know. Like, I'm not. I'm not gonna
I know they
pretend that I
remove
know
everything,
anything about
like
this.
whether you're an organ donor or not.
Yeah. So like, yeah, like that's the type of stuff that he covers. You know, it's stuff like that where it's like it has some facts in there, and then he throws in some crazy shit. So, where's crazy shit that is believable enough to give you chills to the point where you're like, oh
Uh,
crap, right?
but like it's like I don't even feel like that's that far fetched for nowadays, honestly.
No, and it's
Like
not, and
I
and
wouldn't
that's
be
what makes it
remotely
like.
surprised. Like I'd be shocked. Like that would obviously be troublesome. Like that wouldn't be a good thing. Like I do not want that. But like I seriously would be surprised if there's some fucking organ donor fucking mob somehow. Just like I don't know.
I mean, I feel like it's got to exist if we can think about it. It probably exists somewhere in the world, right? Like,
Yeah, because someone got that in their head and was just like,
someone was crazy enough
let's
to be
do
like,
that.
"That's a
Yeah,
great idea. I'm gonna sell someone's organs on the black market."
yeah. Like there's
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, if but yeah, that's the whole like point is like Shane Dawson has enough reason for a lot of people to be mad at him for enough reason to do that to him, but at the same time, he's like everyone that's ever met him has said that he's like a great guy. Like he's insecure and he calls himself
yeah,
out for
but
that.
like the thing that was irritating me is like that people are just taking all the stuff out of context as like just fact. Like this person.
Well, I mean that's
like,
just the world. It's like okay, this guy showed me a 5 second clip that can't be doctored or edited. Nope, that's fact.
Yeah, 100% fact. This is the only evidence I ever have. This is all I need to believe that this man is a pedophile. Like, and they just fucking went berserk. And like, that's the stuff that bothers my mind. Is like that people are just like so ignorant to just be like, "Yep, that's it. That's all."
Yeah, I mean this
I
is
need.
like the biggest witch hunt ever. Like this just fact that people will believe anything you put in front of them, as long as there's enough like teensy weensy bit of evidence. Like
Because I don't know. Like I've always been like, if I see something like that, like if I were to see that video, I'd be like, well, this is like, I'd be like, okay, so
no, I'd be
maybe
intrigued to
let's do
find
like
out
some sort of
why. Like
interest.
where is this coming from?
Yeah, like was there like a case somewhere? Like did someone just like cover something up, or was this? But like, it's just like a bunch of obscure clips put together, and then like, yeah. So like, there's no like solid evidence, and like there's just like all these clips of him doing stuff with like kids, but like. Who the hell like they showed like the one where he's like holding hands with the kid and like the kid was like I love you and stuff like that, but like I don't know, like fucking.
Well, no, like in that video, like his whole like thing is this kid's Phil brought it up. It's he's a paid actor,
Yeah,
and like
yeah, that's right. Yeah, I forgot about that. But yeah, so like,
he's a paid actor, and his mom is like behind the camera the whole time. Like they're never alone. Like
exactly. Like even if like, I don't know, because I feel like this kind of like to.
and I mean I watched that whole series, and it's just hilarious because like he's like trying to trick his mom into thinking that like he actually adopted this kid, or whatever. And his mom is just the most like dramatic and hilarious person ever. It's funny to mess with her, I guess. It's I don't know.
See, like I said, I don't really watch his like current content, which is probably like why I like so. I don't
Yeah,
like
he's not the same person that makes like crazy spoof like videos and music videos or whatever. Like that area of YouTube is dead. Like nobody does that anymore. I don't think really.
Yeah.
So
I think if you did that nowadays, like, because like back in the day, like I feel like people just had like a better sense of humor of like, oh, that's kind of funny.
yeah,
And then like obviously like you don't want to do stuff like his whole blackface issue like that was definitely not a good thing to go. And like,
yeah.
but like I don't know why, but I feel like just so lately people are just so amped up about everything. Did you hear like you watched Phil's thing, so you saw like the H&M thing?
Yeah. Like the
How
little
fucking ridiculous is that?
yeah,
Like
just because
I
he's
totally
wearing a
get
shirt
the
that says
fucking
like monkey on it. Like oh god.
yeah.
Oh
Like, okay,
God.
so like I totally get the angle that they're going for is like, you know, we call like a black person a monkey. Like I get that. Like I get that whole fucking
Yeah,
racial
but
angle.
uh,
But I feel like there's no reason why that kid shouldn't be able to wear that fucking sweater.
yeah, but
And it's not like
like at that point you're being racist too, right? Like you're like, oh,
yeah, like
you
he's only
can't
wearing
wear
that
that monkey
because
sweater because like back in the day people used to call your kind like monkeys. Like no, like who cares, dude?
yeah,
It's a
I mean
kid.
I highly doubt that H&M was just sitting in their fucking little corporate office like this is the only photo we could do because clearly this kid's a monkey. Like that just that does
No,
not
that probably didn't even cross their mind for a second because they're gonna crash their whole brand because they want to be racist. Like no,
like why is that kid allowed to not be the best monkey in the jungle?
right?
Like I don't know. Monkeys are fucking cool.
Yeah,
Like
but
I
at
just,
that
I,
point,
it just
like
it
all
blew
these
my mind
people
that
are
they were
being
so
racist, like in a weird way, right?
like it was only racist because someone said it was racist.
Yeah, you're giving power to that word.
Like otherwise, it would just be a kid in a fucking sweater.
Yep, that's all it would
Like,
be. I mean, like it's
like I would probably like if I were to get an H&M magazine, like for whatever fucking reason, and like just scrolling past, I'd just be like, all right, kid in a sweater. Like I wouldn't even think fucking twice.
yeah, like
But because
okay,
like
a
some
cute little kid in the sweater. All right, I get it. They're trying to sell the sweater. That's all I would think.
yeah, there's no like I just it blew my mind. Like, people were just so. And I think it was like two like rappers like pulled out of their deals with H&M or something like that. I can't
Yeah,
remember who
like
they are.
G Easy and The Weekend. I mean, I like
Yeah.
some of G Easy stuff. The Weekend, he has some good songs, but I'm not like huge on him. Like,
But
uh,
yeah, they just like totally blown out their deals for this, and I was just like, dude, like this is such an overreaction to everything.
yeah, but at the same time, like their deals, like they very well could have had very little to say about that. Like, I don't know, like some rappers, like their whole brand is owned by somebody else. I think they're basically owned by whatever record label they're like, you know. So if the record label's like, oh crap, and The Weekend and G Easy might be signed by the same record label.
Well, yeah, but I mean, would that mean that like, because I think they like tweeted out or something like that. So would that mean like the record label contacted them and was like, hey man, you guys can't be affiliated with this, fucking cut your ties.
RCA Records and The Weekend record label.
But I mean, even still, like I just feel like that's just fucking.
No, they
The
have
whole
total.
series
They
is
actually
fucking
have
stupid.
totally different record labels. They don't have the same ones. Okay, yeah, I don't know then.
Because like I can't remember who said it. Like fucking forever ago, like somebody said like the only way to end racism is just to stop talking about it. And like yeah, that's it. Like this kid could have just been a kid in a sweater, but now it's a racist
Yeah, no,
fucking
I
thing.
mean the whole thing is just don't give those words power. Like,
Exactly. Like the like whole fucking like forever ago when that Pepe frog thing just suddenly became a white
rest
supremacist
of
symbol.
me, yeah,
Like just for out of the fucking blue, like they were just like, we're gonna
yeah. I
take
mean
this
this has been
frog
a
and
meme for I don't know what, like 3 or 4 years at that point. And they're like, oh,
yeah. I mean, I think that was like around before like even like a mainstream type thing. Like that was like forever ago. And just
yeah.
because
And the
these guys
poor,
picked
God
it up,
bless the
suddenly,
guy that made it years and years ago was like eventually had to come out and be like, no, this is
yeah, I
not
didn't
what my
make it as a
character
racist
is.
thing.
Like what?
Yeah, so like I don't know, and like the only reason why it was like a, cause like I was even aware that they were using that as a fucking thing, like just because like I don't really care to acknowledge like that. Like I don't go searching for it unless it somehow like hits the news or like for whatever reason bubbles up onto my various internet accesses. Like they just I don't know, and like all of a sudden I just saw like that someone announced it as like an actual hate symbol. Like I was just like, what? Why the fuck is this wrong? Like I've seen like some weird memes with it, but like nothing like
Yeah.
to where you had to ban the goddamn thing, and then all of a sudden it was just like, oh, there's a white supremacist group that's just like, this is our symbol, and I was like,
Yeah.
that's like the only reason, all you're doing is just validating them, like.
Yeah, that's all you're doing. You're like, okay, well, we better just take this away from the rest of the world.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like that's kind of separate from like the fucking sweater thing, though, obviously. But like,
Yeah, no,
cause like even like the mom was like, just you need to get over it. Like there was just no like.
Yeah, like it's the mom, and she's like of color as well, and like most of these people, I'm sure that are outraged are probably like white, like me and you. Like, I feel like most like people of color, like they're so used to it that they know what real racism is. Like I'm not like they deal with it on a daily basis still. Like people are still very racist today.
Yeah, which is fine. Like I just that just gets me off of it. But I don't know. And like because even like Phil brought up his video that like the whole board of H&M in Switzerland is like predominantly white. But like I think it's Switzerland. Yeah.
Yeah, they're like based in another country or some shit. Yeah, I don't know.
But like I don't know. Like I don't know if like fucking Ireland has like it's like all white. Like that's just because, not because like they're like fuck colored people. Like it just that's how it happened to be. It's like I don't think the Asians set out to have their whole board to be completely white kind of thing, and like they're just like they don't really have that sort of issue. And I understand that they're like a whole fucking huge company and they need to probably be aware of these things when going into stuff, but I also feel like people just need to like stop being so goddamn.
Well, then that also kind of segues into like the whole like Google thing that's going on right now. Like, they have like this whole like, I don't know. I know you've been watching H3's podcast a little bit, and they kind of bring this up. They have like this whole like job where like their whole job is to make sure that their whole staff is diverse in color and ethnicity. Like, that's the person's job, is to make sure that they're diverse enough. Like,
I mean, even, like, in our country, we have affirmative action, which is, like, that whole fucking situation of, like, and, like, even, like, schools do that. And so, like I get it to give, like, equal opportunity through, like, a weird form of discrimination. Like, it's so fucking weird.
I don't know. I mean, like, if someone's not offended by it, I feel like you should just leave it alone. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I feel like no one would.
But then again, everyone's offended by everything, and that's why we're even on this point in the first place.
Because I mean, like, I don't because I feel like if it was a white kid wearing that shirt, nothing would have happened. Like, it would just been like another street shirt. Like, if you would have swapped sweatshirts, then fine. But like, it's the point of like the only reason why it is even racist is because someone said it was racist.
And I don't want to be like on this like I hate Trump bandwagon, but like everything's so much worse now.
Well, yeah, I mean, it doesn't help that he's fucking just so amped up with Twitter, and I just...
Yeah, no, he's like a living meme himself. Like, he's like a... I don't know, I don't want to go on this tangent, because I could go on forever. But, like... but, like, the whole point is, like... I don't know, he's just so... He encourages this type of behavior on, like, the whole United States. Like...
I don't think it's, like, him himself. Like, it's just... Like, I feel like he's honestly, like, a product of our social media. Like, with like...
Fair enough, yeah. I guess that's a fair point. I haven't really thought of it that way. But, yeah, I guess he is a product of what the world stands for. Or the United States. I don't know. Other countries seem to be doing a little bit better.
Yeah, like, I do not feel proud that he is my president. Like, political views aside, whatever. Like... It does not.
Yeah, no, I don't care. I don't know jack shit about political shit. Like, I'm just so, like, fed up with him in general. Like, I don't want to wake up and be like... Like, I follow, like, a lot of people from the UK or whatever.
Yeah.
And they'll, like, retweet something that Donald Trump said and, like, laugh at it. And it's just embarrassing.
Well, don't fucking... Like, someone wrote a Google Chrome extension where like it'll like put his tweets in like a childish crayon kind of writing. And it's like it's fucking it's great. It's scary though because a lot of them do look like a child actually wrote it. Like words from a child. But I don't like he's so like insecure about his stuff. And, like I don't know. When I think of a president, I think of someone who like everyone respects. Like whether your views of like what his political choices are, you still respect him.
You respect him as a person, but not respect his views, right? Like, that's the point you're getting at.
Yeah, as in, like, even, like, you could look past his views.
Yeah, it's like, you don't like his views, but you can respect him as a person. Yeah.
Like, he just seemed like such a dude.
Well, yeah, there's...
so beyond society that he doesn't even, like... Yeah. Like, even aware of
he's in, like, a whole nother fucking world. Like, we're living in, like, 2K. We're living in, like, this year, 2018, he's living in, like, 2040 or some shit. Like, he's in, like, all... I don't know. He's like somewhere else. Like
And,
he's so disconnected from the world, and it's so gross. But
and I just like I don't know why he is just allowed to like bash on North Korea. Like whatever.
okay,
But
well, I also want to bring that up, the fact that like fucking like the dictator of North Korea is actually scared because he doesn't know what Trump's gonna do. So he's
yeah,
like
no,
opening
like
up
exactly.
lines with fucking South Korea for like the first time in what, like 5 years?
Since 1988.
Oh, has it been that long?
No, yeah, yeah, no. Since 1988, they have had no communication.
Yeah,
So they
so
finally opened up their lines, and like, so which is cool. Like obviously North Korea is like a whole fucking issue, but like, I definitely think it's a good thing that they're opening up lines because that's a step in the right direction, right?
it's a step in the right direction. It also could be a step in the wrong direction for the United States. I mean, like, I don't know. Because I mean, if
Yeah,
they
no,
start
definitely
talking to
because like,
people, they could get more allies, and then shit could get really bad.
yeah, and like obviously I'm not with North Korea, but like I totally like I could see his perspective of why he tried to get those nukes so goddamn quickly because you had a president who just got put in place who has nukes now, and he is just totally free to just do whatever. Like it just seems like he's totally off the chain and is that kind of crazy to just push the fucking button.
Yeah.
I am so terrified to just wake up one morning and just look on my phone or whatever that just says someone fired a nuke. Like that's like an actual fear.
Yeah, no, you don't know if that's what you're gonna wake up to. You don't know if you're gonna wake up to like Donald Trump decided to invade North Korea, and like that's not a good thing. Like there's like a bunch of countries that we're kind of allied with that touch that. Like I don't know, it's kind of iffy that if South Korea is like on our side, and the same with China. Like they're on our
Well, yeah,
side
exactly.
because we owe them money. Uh,
Yeah, like I should owe the money, but there's no reason to be this fucking like brazen about everything though. Like he's just like this rocket
I
man.
feel like
This
he just
midget.
wants a
Like
war
what the
so bad. Like I don't know why he wants one. Like he was like whenever he was in the draft, he ran away from that, but yet he wants a war now. Like
like I know. I don't know if it's because like in war, like the fucking president gets a lot more power because we're in a war, and like I don't know what he would gain from that. Like I don't know if he's just trying to fucking rule the world in like a really weird way.
he
But like
has this secret, like I'm gonna rule the world and become a dictator type of thing.
yeah, exactly. You know, it's like what? Like even that, like I don't know. And like the thing that boggles my mind, there's still people who are just worship the dude. Like just he could do no wrong in the world. Like he is.
Yeah, and I mean there are
For
people that have backed out, and like, why did I support this guy? And it's like, okay, I understand. Like you're cool. Like you think
Yeah,
and
like
you're
obviously
rational.
you got like, because I mean I don't know, like there's a whole speech thing where some people just get swept up in it, like the mob mentality, and you just kind of get into it. But like he just like there's like I don't know, like he's done nothing positive. I just feel like nothing positive has come out of him doing this, and like if anyone attacks him, he just becomes so insecure and like defends himself. He's like constantly like calling himself like a I think like recently he called himself a genius or something
Yeah,
like
he
that.
called
And I was
himself
just
a
like,
stable genius. Like
yeah,
people are
that's a
calling
bunch of
him unstable, so he throws in the word stable and genius together. Like that makes him look so cool.
like how insecure is that? Like that is ridiculously insecure for someone who
I feel
is
like somebody needs to get this. Needs to get Donald Trump a job at Walmart customer service for like 5 minutes.
he'd be thrown out of the building so quickly. I just
With like a shot collar every time he's like rude to a customer. Like he just like enough for him to like understand that what he is doing is just it's not normal. Like come on, dude.
I mean, I'm not surprised that he's acting like this. Like, he had a show where, like, the whole fucking concept was him just firing people. Like, that was the big thing about it. Was the whole you're fired. And, like, he's suddenly just our president. Like, how did that happen?
Yeah, but then you wonder why is the world in this state? Like, yeah, I get it. Your choices are Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, and you're like, I don't know much
I'm not
about
even
this
gonna talk
Donald
about that,
Trump
because
guy, but I know
the whole,
Hillary's a
like, the
bad.
Bernie Sanders thing pisses me off. Like, because, like, there's actual evidence of, like, him getting screwed out of the fucking Democratic vote. And
Yeah,
Hillary just won that, so that's why it was Hillary versus And then Trump was just writing the whole like Hillary email thing. Like I'm pretty sure.
No,
That's
he's
like
still writing
yes.
that. What are you talking about? Like, he's still
Well,
writing.
yeah.
Like, he still thinks somebody needs to tell this man that he is the president of the United States, because I don't think he knows
Like he's still
sometimes.
trying to understand.
I guess that brings back to the point where he has early signs of dementia. Like, does he sometimes forget that he's president?
Yeah, I mean, I think that was what his medical view like exam was supposed to happen. I think on the 11th is what it was.
What's today?
Today, shit. So that'd be interesting. I wonder if
Yeah,
anything would
well,
come of
I'm
that.
sure
'Cause
we'll
that's
know
what
something
the
about it
things.
maybe tomorrow or within like the next week. I don't know how those things work.
Well, because Obama, like when I don't know when like the time frame was, but when Obama went and got his, like everything was publicly like it was like very detailed, like mental health and physical health. Like, everything
Oh,
was
so it's like
publicly
it's public. It's not
shown.
something that just.
Yeah, and so like it's done through the White House doctor, but a lot of people were speculating that Trump might pull some shady like he wants to use his doctor, and then if it's still going to be public, then he'll want to use his doctor, and then there's no verification of whether it's like because the same doctor who is, was under the Obama administration is under Trump's administration, so it
Okay.
would theoretically be the same doctor. And I don't know if there's any laws of like he has to go to this doctor because like
Well, I mean, I would
it's
hope
kind
to
of it's very
God
personal.
there is. Like, this is like our only chance, like, until like re-election comes around. Which, I mean, we survived a year. We got like another
Fucking
3.
Oprah to run for president.
What is it?
People are trying to get fucking Oprah to run for president.
I mean, shit, I would vote for her if it was Trump. Like, I don't know. Like,
Can we get
everybody gets a
some,
car.
I don't know, politicians or like scientists? I don't know, maybe someone who actually is like I kind of like Oprah. Like she's decent. She's a good human being. Like she's done
Yeah,
good
I mean,
things, but, like,
decently enough, I guess. I mean, like, I'm sure everyone's done some shady shit. 'Cause she was in Hollywood for years. Like, or I don't know. Is that still Hollywood when she's doing a show? I don't really know.
I don't know. I mean, like show business, I guess would be the
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
umbrella
she's in
term.
that for years and years, and she still runs a pretty successful magazine that people worship, basically. Um,
Well, she has her own fucking network now.
oh yeah, the O
Like a whole
Network. I
channel.
kind of forgot that was even a thing, but
The only reason I know is my mom was fucking obsessed with her, and then she was like devastated when she retired, and then she basically just didn't retire, just went on her own network and did weird little. Anyway, so like yeah, the whole idea of just having just it's starting to get celebrities to become these people of power. To
yeah,
become
like another
politics,
thing is like The Rock. I think is like another big one.
yeah, but I don't even think The Rock is just like yeah no fuck that.
Yeah, I think he's like just going along with the joke.
Yeah, I mean
I don't know. Like,
this is a person of power who has to deal with like several other countries in like the world. Like you need someone who has like a background, like educated. Like you can't just like I'm not saying they wouldn't do a bad job, like a good or bad job per se. Like because obviously this is just all. Like it's not like the president has like total power. Obviously, he has to bounce off other people and stuff like that. But like you gotta at least like
yeah, but he has enough
have like
power
some
to where it's
sort of-
like you need to have someone decent in there.
yeah, like you can't just fucking.
I mean, it
throw
says
a
something when the
fucking
whole
Trump in there.
Republican Party, like John McCain, for example, like hates his guts.
Yeah. Well, I feel like he's just like this whole like he's just gonna be the shit stain on our fucking country for like the rest of our.
I wonder if it's gonna be like the Holocaust in Germany, where they just don't talk about it.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't consider Trump to be anywhere remotely as bad as the Holocaust.
Well,
because
no, I'm
it's
not
just, like,
comparing it
legitimately,
to the
like, the worst.
Holocaust. Like, no, you're not comparing it to like millions of lives, but just the fact that like there's some parts where they just act like it never happened in their history because they're that
Well, no,
ashamed of it.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Germany has like a law where you can't like it's something to do with the Holocaust. Like they like, have to acknowledge it. Like there's no like they aren't just saying like they never did. Like there's something to do with that. But like I don't think they totally ignore it because I don't think. They
Well,
just
I don't think they
fucking,
do
like,
either. I mean,
prove
they probably have museums and shit there
But like
too.
obviously they're not gonna be like talking about it. Like that's the whole fucking thing is like like we're probably just not hopefully.
Yeah, no, that's the whole point I'm getting at. Like people are like they might acknowledge it, but they're not gonna like. There's not gonna be like a whole like chapter in a book, like in a history book. It's probably gonna be like a summary of all the nothing that Trump did and all the tweet.
Well,
Like,
yeah, but I mean, depending on what North Korea does, that could be like, welcome to Chapter 7, the beginning of World War III.
well, another point is like, are we gonna see like?
For, like
Are there gonna be like a picture of a Donald Trump tweet that started World War III? Is it like gonna be in a history book?
I'm so scared of that. Like, I just honestly am just terrified of it. Because like this clown is just sitting there, and like it drives me insane.
Yeah, no, it drives me up
It's
the
like,
wall. I go on
I
these.
just feel like there's no one who is just like checking him. Like, there's no one who's like, hey
Well,
man,
no, I mean there was though, but he fired the dude.
That's fucking right. What the hell was his name? Like Mueller or something like that?
Yeah, something like
No,
that.
that's the guy. Yeah, because you have the guy who's investigating him for like all the fucking Russian shit that's going on.
Yeah. He just
There's
straight
so
up
much
fires
shit
him, and
going
it's
on.
like it makes him look like like for a long time I didn't believe this Russia stuff. Like I was like, surely not. Like I was never for Donald Trump, but like surely this is just something to like make him like look as bad as Hillary or something. Like it's a
Yeah,
hit
but
piece.
now there's like actual evidence.
Now he's trying to cover this up by like firing the one guy that's looking into it, and they can actually
Well, supposedly the Mueller guy has like got a hold of like fucking 50,000 emails, and like it supposedly has like fucking like information in it kind of thing, and like he like asked Trump about this like beforehand, like before releasing any of the emails. I don't even know if he's released or not. I'm like totally out of the loop on this now. I think it was like a week ago that I was like a week and a half or so that I was looking into this, but like he had like a bunch of emails, so he asked Trump about all this stuff, and like he just kind of dismissed it, or just like kind of like blatantly lied about it, or just kind of did that whole political thing where you answer a question with a very vague kind of not so answer question.
Yeah, it's like you ask a question within your question, and you bring up your
like it's essentially just like words.
Yeah, it's like
so he did that, and then before he even like released, I don't even know if he's released the emails yet, but supposedly he like asked Trump for this stuff because he had the information, like so he knew what the answers were. It's basically trying to capitalize sort of thing. I don't even know what the end result of this is because like I feel like this situation is so fucking bananas that no one has any idea what to do with it.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of people that want him gone, but they also don't know what they can do. Because I mean,
they're just like
the world has never been in this situation before. Like,
no, this is like totally a turn of territory for like everyone.
Like I think the worst thing that's happened, like that I can think of in my lifetime, is that whole Bill Clinton thing.
Was that even in our lifetime?
Was it?
Look at that before Borg. I can't remember when fucking Clinton was in administration.
Hold on, I'm pretty sure like we were young, like we probably wouldn't give a shit about.
Well, yeah, I mean, I doubt we fucking remember, but
let me look it up. Yeah, it was basically like our whole like early lifetime. He was president from January 20th to 1993 to January 2001.
Oh, okay, so like, yeah, I mean, we're fucking what 6 when he exited.
Well, I mean, I just have this ridiculously good memory. When I was like younger, I can remember a lot of things.
I don't remember shit.
But I don't know. I can't remember shit that I did yesterday. But I can remember this.
That memory's fucking weird. But like, yeah, the whole false. Anyways, so like they, but yeah, like I don't know. There's like this whole Trump thing is just so fucking bizarre. Like,
yeah,
I don't even know what to do. Like, I don't even know, like, as a human being, like, what to do with this fucking situation.
Yeah, no, like I'm just so mind boggled and frustrated. Like,
yeah, like, there's no.
There is like I feel like there's no safe way out. Unless he's just literally proven insane with dementia pretty soon.
Yeah, like, which, cross your fingers, right?
Yeah, like, please, like, and I'm, like, probably, like, the most unbiased person. Like, I think I go right down the middle as far as political stuff goes right now, because I don't really side with Democrats or Republicans, like, fully at all.
Like, I'm pretty much, like, with the feel of, like, if it doesn't. Like, as long as everyone's happy and gets along, then
yeah, I mean, that also brings up the point where it's like, I think our whole system is just bullshit. I feel like it's so outdated.
Also, did you see the thing with the fucking North Carolina? Like, the gerrymandering thing?
It sounds familiar, but there's so much shit going on, I don't know.
So, like, it's actually, like, it's fucking cool. Like, it's like, it's groundbreaking, honestly. Like, so basically, North Carolina finally, they had a court ruling that their gerrymandering was in like favor of Republicans, and so like, do you know what gerrymandering is?
Not a clue, honestly.
Okay, so like basically like you select congressmen, and then like in order to do that, we all come together and vote, and like each state is like split up into like these little tiny sections,
Mm-hmm.
and they're just fucking drawn. Like literally, someone just like takes a fucking pencil and is just like, I want this area will go to this, and this area will go to that.
Okay, yeah.
And so gerrymandering is basically like designing the fucking things based off of political data and all this kind of data to get votes to swing a certain way. So like basically, if you chunk enough of like the Republicans, like if you basically like disperse, like say if you want like a state to win Republican, you like disperse the Democratic like kind of stats enough in between all like the different Republicans like sections, where basically like even if Democrats went and voted, their like votes would always be outweighed in each of the sections because there's just more Republicans in each section. So like, it's sort of that sort of. So North Carolina finally like their court ruled that they would that their congressional map is gerrymandered like kind of illegally, or like not kind of illegally, but they ruled that it was illegal through like political I think it was discrimination.
Yeah.
They literally had a clip of a guy who was like I think it was a congressman. Yeah, so like a guy who like I think he did. So he was the one who was like drawing the map, and he was like literally like word for word was like, we're gonna draw this congressional map to favor Republicans. I think it was 10-3. And he said then he followed it up with because I couldn't get it to favor Republicans 11-2, like he couldn't get it to work that way. So he's literally confessing that he only did it 10-2 or 10-3 because he couldn't get it to work 11-2. And I was like, this dude is just like verbally saying that he's doing something illegal.
Oh yeah, I remember Phil. He mentioned that, right? Like I think
yeah,
I remember this. Now.
Yeah. Like, so mind blown that this is a dude that somehow got into power. Like our whole fucking.
Yeah, no, I remember that. He talked about this yesterday, right? I think.
Yeah, it was either yesterday or today. I think it was yesterday.
Okay, yeah, I remember this now. I remember what you're talking about. Yeah, like, I don't know. I was.
So that's really good that we're taught like that's finally a thing. Like people can now reference that, and so like other states might be able to start knocking down these fucking congressional walls. Which so like the other thing that's kind of. Which I think we need to do is change our system, because like the whole reason why we have these systems set up where we all vote for Congress and Congress goes to blah 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 to vote and it kind of moves up the chain, is because like way the fuck back in the day it took like forever to get, you can't just like have everyone vote and then count all the single votes up, because like we live in a digital age. I feel like we should have like that technology like secure enough, like just get like the top fucking programmers in there and like secure it down so people like vote with their fucking phones. Yeah, no. Like, do you want this person to be president? Click, and then like all the votes get tallied up, and there you go.
Yeah, no, you just like one vote per social security number or some shit, and you're like.
Yeah, exactly. It could be that easy.
Yeah, no, it totally could. I mean, I never thought of that, but yeah, it's that easy, and your voter turnout rate would be like higher than it's ever been before, because you just whip out your phone and you're like, okay.
Like, and like that could be for anything. Like they could just be like, "Hey guys, do you want to legalize pot?" And you just be like, "Click." And then, or do you guys want to raise taxes? Click. Do you want to raise taxes for this reason? Click. Like, that'd be so fucking easy. Granted, you have to like watch out for hackers and everything like that. But like I said, just hire the top programmers, like trust them, do background checks. Like I don't know. Wait, like, you could totally do this feasibly.
No, this is the freaking one of the world, almost a world. I don't think we're world power anymore. I don't even know if it's a thing, but like we're one of the most powerful countries in the world. I feel like we could get some really good computer programmers in there that would like make like something that's almost impossible to like penetrate. Like you make this really badass server and nobody can freaking touch it, and
exactly, and then like you just. I feel like we spend so much money on like these voter machines now, and like they're still not even fucking accurate. Like, see, people still fuck with them.
No, like there's nobody like watching them. Like I think like I don't know. Like I know during the whole like last election, like there were so many issues with them, and they had a recount in, like a bunch of different states.
Yeah, and then like you had like there was that one state where I can't remember what state it was a recent one, but they had a state where they recounted. It was like I think it was the Republican one, and like they recounted, and like they were like they were like T for T, like it was just like 50,000, 50,000, like whatever the number was. And then, but they had like one ballot that was like I don't know what the fuck the dude was thinking, like when he was like voting, but like he had like, because I don't know, like when I come to a box that says check for yes, like this dude was like circling and Xing out like a bunch of different shit, and so like they couldn't count it because like they just like couldn't understand what this guy was trying to like who he was voting for. Like I don't know, he was just like changing his mind 4 different times, and I was like, come on, dude, like it seemed so like ridiculous.
Yeah.
So they couldn't count it, so then like it just went into like this weird thing where like I guess the state had if there is a draw, then if their names literally just get written on a piece of paper and put into a fucking fishbowl, and they just pull out a name.
Yeah.
And then the Republican won that, and I was just like, that's what this comes down to,
like a coin toss, basically. It's like
a 50-50 chance. Like just like our political system is so stupid.
No, I mean it is like it makes sense. Like ages ago when we were like 13 colonies or some shit, but like we're 50, like we're what 50 states, and like I don't know how many territories we have. I know we have like Guam and I don't know.
Yeah, but even though I feel like I wasn't even like that affected by our government changes. Like that's all just like weird stuff.
Yeah, I feel like you might want to just move to Guam. Like, you have all the freedom in the United States, but you really don't have to deal with it.
Or like, I don't know, Europe or Canada.
Yeah.
I feel like there's no...
Yeah, Canada would be cool. I don't know. I feel like my only argument would be, like... I don't know. People are just, in general, are really nice in Canada. Like...
Well, yeah, I mean, there's something like that. I feel like, because obviously our problems are much bigger than they were way back in the day, so like it's a lot.
Well, I mean, yeah, with the internet, I mean, problems get like blown up a lot more too. Like,
yeah,
before like there was people that watched the news, and then there was people that didn't even give a shit. But now, like, everyone's involved in the news because it's everywhere.
I mean, what boggles my mind is like there was like such a fight for the gay marriage legalization. And now that it's legal, fucking nothing. You don't hear shit about it. Like occasionally, like something pops up where it's like discrimination or something like that. Like there's like some lady like wouldn't bake a cake for a gay couple or something.
Yeah.
But like, and obviously there's still discrimination here and there, just in within companies, and that's a whole other fucking workplace issue. But like, there was like just such a fight for it, and like that was it. And then it was just like people just didn't give a shit about it. And like whatever you think about that, that's fine. But like,
yeah. I don't know. I mean, I also think that might have been where they wanted to get at, too, though. Is like, they just wanted to be treated like everyone else, maybe. And they should be.
Like, good. Yeah, exactly. There's no, like, what the fuck do I care if you're gay? Like,
yeah, I really could care less. Like, I don't know. Like, that's...
like, honestly, like, I literally do, like, I say, like, it sounds really bad, but, like, I just don't care about other people. Like, I care about them, like, I hope that they do well, and, like, they're healthy and whatever, but like whatever their views are, whatever they do with their life, I couldn't care.
Yeah, I don't care as long as you're not like
or my friends, you're fine.
Yeah, like you're not hurting other people, then I don't care what you do with your life. Like other people or animals or hurting anything in general, I don't care what you're doing with your life. Like you can do whatever you want.
Yep. Like even if you're just like weird shit, as long as it's all consensual and on the up and up.
Yeah, like as long as you're not
like,
just
whatever.
just don't care. I just want
I don't give a fuck. You can do whatever the hell you want.
I mean, there's just so much energy that can be thrown somewhere else. I'm not gonna go fight whether someone's gay, a right to be gay or whatever. I'm not gonna go fight against someone's rights. Like.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's for like anything.
Like shit, I could be using this energy to be like, looking at world problems. Like, there's these like big groups that are all against just hating things. Like what is that church that hates everything?
Oh, I know exactly which one you're talking about. I can't remember.
Well, they surprisingly they haven't done anything crazy in a long time.
Yeah.
But yeah, like they protest like military funerals and shit. But like think about groups like that where they're like, they could probably be doing something bigger.
Well, yeah, no. because it's just because like one fucking idiot gets into power and like he just has like because he has the whole mob mentality thing, which is like a psychological thing. Like that's actually like people just get into this mob mentality of just like let's
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's probably like some kind of like biological nature of humans, like.
Yeah, so like that's why people get swept up into stuff when just like shit starts to happen like that. But like it's just because this one guy gets put in that place, and lost my train of thought.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I got a point there. Like, I mean, the whole like mob mentality is like kind of how Hitler became like dictator.
Well, exactly. Like he was like obviously we're just gonna say this like I don't know what Hitler did.
No, yeah.
Obviously, like, but like he like a lot of people like admire him because he was such a great like
he brought people together. Like it wasn't like he
a little country named Germany and he fucking took over Europe.
Yeah, no, he
like,
did.
I know that's sad and like bad, but like that's actually kind of impressive from the military standpoint.
It's from a military standpoint. Like, no, not like, oh yeah, he burned all them Jews. It, like get that guy.
You have to, like obviously, like I'm not remotely condoning this guy.
No, it's not his views. It's just what he did was impressive, right? Like
he motivated this whole country and like just got them all to think that this way of thinking was okay. Like they were doing the right thing.
And that way of thinking still exists today. Like it's so like under wraps and like people don't talk about it, but I guarantee you that you've probably met like a lot of like neo-Nazi type people and you just don't know it.
What do you mean under wraps, man? Like a couple months ago, like the whole internet had to come out and say that Nazis were still bad because like they were gaining steam for something. Like they were protesting on the street for some reason. Do you remember that? There was like actual just like people who were just like we're Nazis and I don't even know what they were protesting or if they were just like saying hey we're Nazis. But
yeah, no, there was like some like thing. Yeah, I remember I don't remember exactly what they were doing. I remember it, but like how the whole last year was like it was just such a blur because everything was a shit show.
Oh, I know, like fucking Jesus, this whole.
Like there was a point where I stopped watching Philip DeFranco just because I couldn't handle the world. Not because I didn't love his content, but I just couldn't handle the world anymore.
No, exactly. I know exactly what you mean. I watched him religiously, like just every day. It was like half hour when I got home and I'm watching it. Like I just got to a point where I was just so done with hearing everything. Like I just wanted, like I literally just went and did I read a book. Like I was just like.
Yep.
I don't want to be on the internet.
Screw this world.
I read like 3 books last month because I was just like, fuck it. I don't want to deal with anything.
Yeah,
it's so mind-boggling that but the other thing is I don't know what to do. Like, it just feels like everything's going chaotic and people are just getting swept up in social media, and it doesn't seem like there's a voice anywhere that's we need to fix this shit because this isn't a good road that we're
I mean, I don't even know if it's there isn't a voice. I feel like there's too many voices saying
there's no centralized thing.
There's no unified power that's bringing all these voices into one. Philip DeFranco has a really great voice and he's very opinionated, but he's also able to listen to other people's opinions and not.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like we just need more people like him. I don't know, I almost idolize the guy because he's everything I want to be as a person. I want to have my own opinion. I want to be me still, but I also want to understand other people.
Yeah, I mean that's how I've always tried to be. Is I obviously I'm never always going to be right, and I certainly don't think if someone approaches me with another opinion, I'm always curious as to why or how they have.
As long as they're not ignorant about it and they don't call me stupid for believing what I believe.
Yeah.
I would love to sit down and talk to somebody and pick their brain apart. I would love that. It's fun.
Yeah, exactly. Because you might learn stuff, they might learn stuff, and
Yeah, and then
You
you're
know, like
like,
you might even both change your fucking views on whatever you're
yeah,
looking
you
at.
might like evolve a new view where it's like, okay,
Exactly.
this is way
Like
better.
that's how fucking change happens. Not like this just
Yeah, like no, like hey, fuck you.
exactly like what does that solve? It solves nothing.
Yeah, no, I don't know. It's so. Ugh. I don't know. I feel like
Exactly. Like I just
the world has always been like this. I feel like it's just so much worse. Like it's just getting worse.
I don't know, man. Like, cause I feel like obviously there's always like the dark parts of humanity where like just people are, because you go back to the whole psychology roots of like whether we're born evil or we're, we learn evil or kind of
No,
or
nobody.
whatever. That's
Yeah,
sort of that whole fucking psychology
that
thing.
whole like
But
debate.
like,
Yeah,
so like obviously like just shady shit's happening and like obviously like some of the stuff might have gone down without like recorded history because like who's gonna record, oh hey I killed a person today, like that's obviously not
yeah,
something that gets put in history books. And now with like social media, like everything is just so in our faces. It's so easy just to be like,
yeah.
this is on the internet forever, like
Well,
millions,
I mean, like,
billions of people.
I mean, you could bring up that story where that person was literally tortured on Facebook Live.
What the fuck?
Did
What?
you? Yeah, did you not hear about that?
I mean, probably. I don't know what it was. There's so much shit going on. I just don't even.
Let's see, Facebook Live torture case. See, so yeah, it was
Was
like,
that like?
and it was like literally the beginning of. It was literally a year ago, so it was like in January. So they meant
What's that?
they disable or they had, and the worst thing is this man was like mentally disabled.
Oh, it was. Yeah, it was like a bunch of teenagers or like younger kids that like took him in and like, yeah, no, I fucking remember that. Yeah, like the
Well, yeah, no, it was like at the
hold on.
very beginning, literally December 31st. If this Wikipedia, like I'm reading Wikipedia, so I don't know if any of this is true, but I don't want to be asked to look it up anymore. Um, but yeah, it says December 31st, 2016, and like he was the victim was he was 18. He was dropped off at a McDonald's in Chicago. Um,
Yeah, I know. I totally remember that now. This is what I thought you were talking about, but I couldn't remember if it was on a Facebook or if it was just like a YouTube thing.
yeah, no, he
But
was
yeah, no, I
died.
remember
Yeah, he
that.
was mentally disabled. He had schizophrenia, if this is right, and they were. Yeah, this is like during the time where people were like the whole like Nazi thing you were talking about. Like this was during all that like big commotion because I remember them talking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
so like
the last like 3 years have been just such a clusterfuck of just.
no, this is like I feel like the whole last year was like 3 years of bullshit. I feel like
No, yeah, no. Like 2017 felt like it lasted forever, and 2018 certainly not off to any good start.
no,
But like,
it's already like I don't know. I don't even want to talk about the. You know, we've already beat that with a dead horse. Like I don't even.
but like so, I've been watching Black Mirror a lot lately. Like I fucking love that show. I think everybody needs to watch it. But they have like the very first episode of it was about like a political guy who gets like blackmailed to like fuck a pig on live TV,
Mm-hmm.
and like because and like the whole fucking world just watches,
Mm-hmm.
and like
And,
that blows
and
my
it's
mind.
true, right? Like people would do that.
Yeah, no, like that's the thing that always freaks me out so much about Black Mirror is like that. I just every time I walk away from an episode, I'm always like, this could happen. Like I could see this happening, and like it's all very disturbing. Like
Yeah, no, I mean there are
just
some
fucking
episodes
weird.
where you can tell they're just having fun with it, but there are a lot of things on there that are like,
This is a
holy
very,
fuck,
and
right?
obviously like they take a lot of stuff and just amplify it because like the whole social media one where like she was like everything was on a rating system.
Yeah, so if you got
It,
likes, you were like in a whole nother like bracket of the world. Yeah.
yeah, so which I really like that episode, but like they it brings up good points of like we're basing so much stuff around the social media and like so like the other thing I want to like kind of bring up randomly but is like the it's like the whole Me Too movement where like everyone's like their abuse stories and everything like
Mm.
obviously it's bad and I don't condone it, it's horrible stuff. Like they I just because like a lot of the stuff happens like on Twitter and like I don't know why everyone is just when someone tweets something it's just automatically taken as fact now. And I know, like, a lot of these cases, they have, like, factual stuff to back it up, and, like, they're just using Twitter as, like, the face of it. Like, that's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm not saying, like, oh, it's all false and kind of thing.
Yeah.
But, like, there's just so much stuff that's just taken at face value. Like, that there's no... Like, everyone just immediately becomes, like, there's, like, a witch hunt kind of thing, you know, the whole Shane Dawson thing. Like, they just immediately just...
Yeah. I mean, I guess, like, the whole, like, thing there is they don't want to be that guy that says, well, your story's bullshit because, like, you know, they look bad if it ends up being true. And no, I mean, I totally thought that whole thing, like, there's no facts about this whole thing. Like, some of this stuff...
Because, like, when it first started happening, like, it was a couple people, and I was like, okay, like, obviously this has been happening in Hollywood for a long time. Like, there's rumors here and there and stuff, and like... But then, like, the scope of this is just getting so fucking out of hand. Like, I understand that this is probably actually happening, and this happens in the workplace, and, like, this is all horrible and needs to be stopped.
Yeah.
But I don't want it to get to a point where it suddenly becomes like anyone can just write on fucking Twitter that this person did this X amount of years ago, and because that person doesn't have any evidence, like then, like I don't want to get to a point where people who are able to, who actually have these stories come out and like people doubt them, like are starting to like.
Yeah, no, I mean, Phil has brought up this very point. You know, there's been people that call people out, and then the person that did it were actually the like ones that were making this up, and the person having the accusations against them were the victim of this situation. Like this is
exactly. So,
yeah.
Like, it's,
no,
I don't want it. I don't want it to get taken so far that it becomes an issue, which is like dumb to say because obviously I want these people to come out with stories. And,
yeah, no, I want it to be open, and I don't want it to be. But I also don't want it to be abused. The fact that people want to believe you and be there for you. You know, exactly. I don't want the compassion of the world gone because we can't.
I just know there's going to be these sour, shitty, bad apples that are going to somehow ruin it.
Uh-huh.
And it's just going to fuck things up even more.
No, 100%. Yeah, it's fucked up, but you know, what can we do? Or just a couple of dudes ranting on a video about the world. But
a fucking video, it's just audio. But like,
yeah.
I don't know, it's just. I don't know, man. Maybe this is the start of the change. Maybe we'll do it.
Yeah, I mean, like everybody, I feel like, the whole reason we wanted this whole thing to exist is because we wanted to have a voice, right? Like, we're both very opinionated. I mean, and there are times where we don't agree, but like we don't like call each other idiots for it. Like, it's fine.
Like we just talk about it.
Yeah, then like half the time we're like, okay, yeah, I totally see where you're coming from, but.
Like, you might still hold your opinion or whatever. Like, it's just a fucking discussion to see what is right versus who is right. Which, again, someone quoted that fucking forever ago, and I've always held on to that. Like, I like that. It's better to have a discussion about what is right versus who is right. And, like, I don't know. I feel like we need to, like, start doing that more. Like,
yeah, I feel like people they don't necessarily have to start a podcast, but I feel like you should, like, like if you're friends with like your neighbor or something, like go talk to them, or you're just even your friends, like you're not like your best friend, you're not gonna agree with everything. You're not.
I know, but like, and then you get the whole social media thing where people don't even fucking talk to each other, where like everything's so fucking like.
No, it's just words on a screen.
No one has actual real relationships with anyone. I don't even mean like whether you're friends with them and hang out with them. I mean like you don't have like those deep talks with people, like where you just talk about life for the hell of it.
Well, yeah, I mean, this whole age is all about memes, right? Hey, dude, check out this meme, and then that's it.
Yeah, I mean, like I dated a girl like not too long ago that was just like, that was it. Like she was just all about memes. Like that was her whole fucking identity was just like memes and like Filthy Frank and like she was nice and everything. And, like she just. That was it. Like we would talk about stuff, but like she didn't really like have opinions about stuff. You know, like I'd be like, you know, hey, this is happening in the world, and she'd be all like, yeah, it doesn't matter. I have memes, you know, and I'm just like, I don't know. You know, it's just. Like,
I don't know. At the same time, sometimes I'm jealous of people like that.
because they're just like blissfully unaware of everything.
Yeah,
Like,
they don't care
like,
enough to where
they're
it's
just
like actually a struggle for them. They're not like me or you. It's like afraid to turn on their phone because they don't want to see something that just triggers them because.
You're just like the world's wrong and
Yeah,
all we can do is
and I love the world that, like, for the most part that we live in. Like, I love where a lot of technology is going, like Elon Musk or like people like that. Like, I love
yeah,
that.
I mean, there is good in the world. Like there definitely is.
Like, I feel like can
like,
Elon
it's
Musk
not
just
wrong.
run for president, please? Like, I feel like he would do pretty good. I do feel like he would do pretty good.
Right?
Like, if we could just nominate anybody, let's just nominate the guy that's like changing the whole world. Like he changed how cars work.
Colonizing Mars. Like he is trying to colonize Mars. That is so fucking cool.
Yeah, he's not just like cut and dry like everyone else in the world. Like he's not like, like he wanted to make a car, but he wasn't just like, okay, well, what is everybody else doing? He's like, no, I'm gonna do what I want to do.
Yeah, like obviously, like we've always had like throughout time, we've always had these progressive thinkers that like change the way everything works. I definitely think Elon Musk is definitely going to be someone that is looking.
Yeah, he's just that person of this day and age, right? But I know it's just like that thing where like people, think about it, like back when the car was like first being a thing, like they're like, okay, horses are faster, and they don't have this like gas thing or whatever, and, whatever. But like there was also the problem where people legit there was like these legit areas where there was just decaying horses everywhere. Like this was an actual problem that they had.
Oh yeah, no, like New York was like there was like shit in the streets and like just,
yeah, no, it created diseases and all these problems like plague like problems. But and then the car came along, people were still more bashing it. But as time went on, it became like it's the staple of the world now. Like everybody gets in a car, whether they drive themselves or not. They
yeah, like somehow you've come in contact with the car. Like there's
your world revolves around a car somehow. Like you order something online, how do you think it gets there?
Eventually it touches wheels.
Yeah, so it's everywhere. So like that's that Elon Musk thing where he's like, okay, but this resource is eventually going to run dry and it's ruining the world. Like we need to change it, and he makes the change. Yeah, it's expensive as fuck right now, but eventually it's going to become like the thing where people aren't driving themselves, and people
exactly.
just push it.
And like even like when the cars first came out, like they weren't just for like everyone. Like it's not like some poor boy could just go out and buy a car. Like they were for the top tier, like wealthy people.
Yeah.
They're not like for them, but like they're the only ones who could afford them because it was so expensive to make them. Like it was very time consuming. And then Henry Ford created the fucking assembly line, just like fucking brought the prices down, and so you like
No, I mean there's gonna be some like Henry Ford of this time where they're gonna make this technology like accessible in every car. Like eventually, I bet you people aren't really gonna be driving their own cars that much. Like they might have to watch them, but for the most part.
Like, it's gonna be like hella expensive to get our roads to that point where we're all automated because everything has to be sensors.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, I don't think it might be like at the end of our lifetime, if at all. But like, I'm not saying it's gonna happen. But like, that's the stuff that we need because young people, especially, a lot of young people lose their lives because of cars because they're just not ready, for that responsibility.
But like the other thing that kind of it's just like there's all these like political race differences, language differences, and everything, and like as like a humanity we could get so much done so easily. Just overnight we could completely reshape the world.
Yeah.
But because all these people have like these different ideologies that aren't like open-minded and willing to listen, and like we can get past language barriers, we can talk to like we have linguists, like that's their whole job is that. It's like that's very easy to get past that. We
yeah.
all learn the same, like,
I mean, there's people that legit like go to school to be a translator. Like, yeah, it's
exactly. So like language shouldn't be a fucking problem anymore. And so like there's no reason why we shouldn't be able to come together and like completely reshape the world.
No, 100%. There's no reason why we can't.
None. Like if you say it's because you have different views and stuff, that's fine. Like we can just all come together and like, because we were all connected. Like, fucking so many people have phones. I know there's those few people who don't like just like the elder people like usually don't, or like the people who don't can't afford them. Yeah, like what there's various reasons. Like,
Yeah.
third world countries, blah blah blah. But like, it would be so easy just to connect everyone.
Yeah, I mean, well, let's think. Like even the government now, like I mean, most of the government phones are even smartphones now. Like it's not. It really isn't such a stretch anymore to expect everyone to have a smartphone. Like it's really not. Like there's even older people now that are texting and using emojis and like they're
yeah. I mean, like they have like little cheap smartphones that are just like really super basic stuff that are
Well, I don't know how it is like where you live, but you ever see the commercials for like Jitterbug?
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, they have like a Jitterbug smartphone. I think like it's even a thing.
Yeah, because like no one wants to fucking flip phones anymore.
Yeah.
Like it just I don't know. Like it's just
like
so...
it's got to the point where like in my job like I have to use people's phones sometimes because like the old people don't know how to get to their account numbers or whatever. And like I'm like a flip phone feels so foreign to me. Like I don't even know what to do half the time. Even though I grew up watching technology change, like I played Snake on Nokias for years, like.
Right, yeah. No, like that's the fucking mind-blowing part about our generation is that like tech has come such a long way. Like we were born in a generation that was basically no internet.
Mhm. Yeah, and now look at us, like we're.
My entire life, I'm like plugged into the internet.
No, I mean we would never have met if the internet wasn't a thing. Like.
Yeah, exactly.
We're in total different time zones, and like we probably would have never came across each other if it wasn't for the internet. Like it's a crazy and amazing thing, and also kind of scary at the same time. But
I mean, it's an amazing thing, but just because of I honestly think it's like the anonymity, pronounce that word, of it all, of like how people can just. Because like I'm like it's like a double-bladed sword because like on one hand you want to keep your privacy, but on the other hand, because of these like usernames and stuff like that, we can just say whatever the hell we want on the internet and have no negative repercussions.
Yeah.
Which is like like the whole internet trolls and like all those fucking people, like it just
it also creates like a whole like generation that has anxiety, like.
Well, I honestly think the whole fucking like anxiety thing is from our whole like everyone gets participation trophy thing, which I'm pretty sure psychologists have like come out and said like yeah we kind of fucked up there because like there's so much problems with that.
Yeah, I mean I guess I don't know. I know where mine like used to stem from. I don't know if I would even classify myself to really have it as much anymore. Like I don't really struggle with it as much as I used to. It's still there, and I still feel it. But I also like know just to be like fuck it, to a degree. But I also still have a hard time talking to people, and it's weird. I still have a hard time doing adult things. Like I was trying to pay my gas bill and I had to work up the courage to call them. I was like, I have to pay my gas bill. I don't want to freeze to death. But at the same time, I don't want to talk to this person.
No, I totally get you. Like it's weird. Like there's people that I'm just like total strangers. Because I work retail, so like there's total strangers that I don't mind talking. Like I have no issues.
Yeah, no, like I don't. But at the same time,
no
like
issues.
I'm a different person at work. Like.
No, I feel you. But like like I had to make an appointment for like to change my oil in my car, and like I know how to do that. Like it's easy, but like the only reason I'm in a fucking apartment. Like there's no space to do that, so I made an appointment to go.
Yeah, I mean it's just if you can, it's just easier, and like you get a sticker that tells you when to do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's convenience too. Yeah.
Right, so I had to call him, and like I don't know why, but like I just always had this like feeling of like I'm inconveniencing this guy, which is like the stupidest fucking mindset because like I'm his job. Like
yeah, I know, I totally get it.
Him to do something. So it's like stupid, but like I just like I've gotten better at it obviously over the years, and like retail certainly helped with that because like
Yeah,
you
no,
just
I would never call anybody before. I mean, like it's definitely helped, but it's
and
like I
like
still struggle with it. I feel like I'm always going to. Like
yeah, I, don't know. I mean I feel like you'll eventually like get to a point where you'll just like get to like that kind of dad level where you're just like like yeah, you're just you are who you are, and like
yeah, I guess
your
it's
opinions
probably
are
the age
people's or
thing
whatever. It doesn't
too,
matter.
right? Like I sometimes when I
Oh yeah,
talk to
no.
people, I'm like they probably think I'm just some stupid kid still. I feel like that.
I mean like on like one level, like I don't really care what I look like, what I how I dress and stuff. Like I want myself to look nice per se, but like the reason why I have anxiety about like how I look and like everything like that is just because like there's I'm still trying to like in the dating world sort of thing for
Yeah,
whatever fucking reason. Like I just
yeah,
and so
no,
like there's that whole mentality of like you want to make sure you're picture perfect in case you run into like
yeah,
that like
no.
in
I
person.
mean, I get it. I used to be like that. Now I'm married. It's so nice because I'm just like this is me. Hey,
You're just like yeah fuck it. So like I don't know, it's just like our whole like the way our society is set up, like that's how it is. But so I don't even think like anxiety is stemmed from like you know. So I guess like that would be like social media would be like the core cause of it, because like we're just constantly under like barrage of
yeah,
like
we're just like
essentially a rating system, honestly.
yeah. I mean, you're always being like under you. You're always being ridiculed unless you just don't get on social media.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you post a picture and it like gets X amount of views or likes or whatever, then like that's essentially a rating. Like, well, it's not like 5 out of 4 star, like or 4 out of 5 stars. But it's like you can tell like I mean there's like whole social like the whole Instagram thing there's people on there who are just like strictly for the followers and like a basis of like they're more popular kind of thing and and obviously like good looking people like they get promoted quicker. Like people follow them and
Well, I mean,
like
yeah,
likes
but
for whatever
Instagram
reason.
models is like an
I don't know.
actual job. So,
Yeah, which is oh Jesus.
which is a weird thing, but like it's an actual job, and it's the same thing with YouTube. Like people go into this thing and like they're like, I'm gonna make money because fucking PewDiePie has like doing this and he's crushing it. But in reality, PewDiePie was doing I don't even know how many years before somebody like noticed the guy and you know
Oh, yeah, no, like you got people who are on there because they've got pretty faces, and they just make like silly little friend vlogs,
yeah
and then you've got people who have been like grinding for fucking years, like
yeah.
Boogie, yeah, like he's been on the channel, like he's been on YouTube since like he was born, like honestly, like he's just been steadily making videos over the years, like he's
Yeah, he
become
just
like a
has this
very
steady growth. He doesn't have like this crazy moment that made his career. He just kind of did it.
yeah, which is awesome. Like I really like the guy, like he's a really cool guy.
Yeah, no, he's one of the like
You
a few people that he's just a genuine dude, and
yeah, exactly.
it's the type of people I watch. Like I've started watching like Casey Neistat too. Like he's a genuine person.
Yeah, I mean, like I definitely like there's some weird stuff with him. Like occasionally, it kind of rubs me the wrong way, not for any reason other than just like, but he's just like he's a dude who was just like I'm gonna do what I want with my life, and like you can feel like he's very like who he
Hmm?
is. There's no like facade of like
Yeah,
I just want to be the popular guy who has a lot of views and
yeah, man. There is no problem with like putting on a character for YouTube. That's fine. Like if that's what you want to do, then and sometimes I enjoy that sort of thing. Like iDubbbz, he puts on a character. It's
yeah,
that.
exactly. Like
That's
that's more of like a um like an acting talent would probably be like the best way to put it.
yeah. I don't know. I guess like in a weird way, yeah. We have like this weird like niche actors on YouTube, and
Yeah,
like yeah, I don't know. When I don't know, it's like a weird place where it's like they're kind of acting, but at the same time they're them. Like it's kind of like an extension of them, but it's just that extension of them and not everything put together. Uh,
yeah. I mean, it's a character like they I guess wrote and created. They're just acting as it would be like the best
yeah,
way.
because I mean Boogie for like you brought it like he has like that
Francis,
Francis,
yeah.
yeah. And like for a long time, people legit thought he was just an angry guy.
Yeah. But like that's what his whole goal was, like, was to like surprise people, like to just turn it on and be like, yeah, I'm just a normal dude, and then like,
Yeah.
it's like that's why he hasn't done like a lot with it lately. Is because like people are like everyone's in on the joke.
Yeah, no,
Everyone knows
he
that he's
brought that up.
supposed to
He's
be
like,
like,
everybody just knows that that's a joke now, so it's not like that shock factor's
yeah.
gone.
So like he still uses the character and like stuff just to like, kind of like give like
Oh
funny
yeah, he
kind of
did that
comments.
whole like Francis takeover thing like not that long ago
Yeah,
for like a week. Yeah. So like I don't know. I'm pretty happy with like for the most part. Like if you kind of exclude like some like they shall not be named people on YouTube. I'm pretty happy with like the top people. They all earned it,
yeah. There's certainly like no.
and they
It's
don't
just,
overdo their power type of thing.
like they're just people who got to that point because that's how
Yeah,
where
they
we're
just
headed.
they didn't
And
just
it's
like
like,
blow up out of nowhere. Like I don't know, like they kind of some of them did, I'm sure, but yeah, like
yeah, which
most of
is fine.
them.
Like if you're gonna like make a viral video like that's, I'm not like condoning fucking.
Yeah, no, I mean you can't control what goes viral, so like you just if it
Yeah,
happens,
so
then
like that's all I could do. It's just like,
it's cool. It's just like it's more interesting to know that someone just they didn't just like blow up and that's what gave them the drive. They've just had this drive the whole time. I guess is like what's so amazing about it.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
so
like people go through changes obviously in recent years.
yeah, no, I mean that's kind of like well, where this topic actually came from is the whole Shane Dawson thing, right? Like he's not the same
A way
person he
long ago
was, when I was
we took it
watching
up.
him in middle school, high school, where he was making like legit like blackface videos and
Yeah.
shock value shit that people didn't care. It was funny. It was whatever. Nobody was cared that much, and now everyone cares. And
Yeah, but I mean, you got like a different audience though, because I feel like YouTube was such like a niche little.
well, I mean, the thing is, like Shane Dawson's audience, like it's like people like me. Like at that time, I was a middle schooler watching someone that was my age now, kind of, and like it's different. I grew up, so his content had to grow, and that's what's amazing to me is that someone can just they're relevant because they deserve to be relevant.
Yeah, because they saw that stuff needed to change, and so they made the changes they needed.
Yeah, I don't even know if you noticed. He just kind of grew himself, and that's just the. That's
Oh
just
yeah, I mean, I'm sure like it's not like he just suddenly one day just flipped a switch and suddenly he's
yeah,
the new guy. Like that's how it just.
yeah. Well, I mean, like he was a closet bi guy for a long time. I mean, I know you don't know anything about him really, but um, he's in like a he's dating a guy now right now. Like he's a cool dude. Like I don't know. Like the weird thing is like his whole like friend group. He's probably like kissed or dated them all almost. I think. Yeah, he's went through like this whole like weird phase, but I don't know. He's a cool dude, and he's just like he's a very emotional guy. Like as you could probably tell from that little clip you saw. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, he's just a very emotional person, and yeah, you can. He didn't even upload a video today, which is weird for him. So like you can tell he's just so out of so like messed up because like everyone's on his side, but at the same time you can still search Shane Dawson and the word pedophiles right next to his name.
Right. Yeah. Like that's not a good feeling.
Yeah, so like so it's sad, and I really hope that like
It
something else
doesn't stop you.
happens that just gets
Yeah.
him out of the limelight because he doesn't deserve it. Like the last person in the limelight deserved it 100%, but he doesn't deserve it.
Because that part
Yeah,
did
I'm
something.
just trying so hard not to go on that tangent.
Yeah, I know. But like, so I mean, like, there's a guy who, I mean, he's pretty big on YouTube. I don't know if you watch like Tomska, like the ASDF movies and stuff like that.
No, not really.
Okay, well, it's kind of it was like back in the day. Like he released like one recently, but I grew up that was my first introduction to him was the ASDF movie, which is they're all animated stuff. But he does like he did like a bunch of sketches and like just really funny stuff, and so like but he has like a separate vlog channel, like that's separate from his like main videos and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
Where he does like this whole past year, he basically did like a daily diary entry sort of thing, where he was like, so like he called him like last week, and like so like every day he would just record, and just like his general thoughts and just kind of stuff he would just do for the day, and they were really cool. But like he, like he was like a very, just very open about a lot of stuff. Like like he's going, like he has a lot of like mental health issues due to like bullying from earlier, and like he lost his friend to cancer not like a year or two ago.
Damn.
And like he and his friend were like making an animated series and stuff like that. Like that really shook his world. Like you could like tell he changed. Like that seriously like changed him. So like I always like I don't watch like every single one, but like I watch every once in a while and stuff. And like it's fascinating to me in like a weird way, but like it's like it's kind of like a good and bad thing that he's just kind of like openly talking about this, like getting it out there. He's been doing better. Like he's I think he's got like a girlfriend going on now. He's still in the house, and like he's doing like good stuff, and like he seems to be doing better. But like you can tell like there's some days where he just wakes up and he's just like like that mental health's got him.
Damn. Yeah.
So it's cool. Like not in like a weird like it's weird to fucking say that, but like it's
No, I mean you're watching the evolution of a person, and like you don't really get to experience that with yourself because it's you. You don't.
Yeah, exactly. So like I could probably like I think I can kind of know what I was like back in the day just from like repressed memories, but like they.
Well, yeah, but there's that whole like
it's
human
changed.
thing where it's like you kind of forget like things that are painful and you learn from them, but you don't really like you don't deal with them. You suppress them like it's a survival instinct type thing.
Yeah, I mean like there's stuff that like still not regret, but just like I guess cringe out is the word. Just stuff that's like good. But like it's like I was a stupid kid like back in high school, so like why
I mean, I don't know. I never really did anything crazy in high school though, but I mean, it was like.
I didn't either, but like my stupid fucking head is like. It's stupid.
I mean, I guess I did stupid stuff in the sense that like I probably should have like had a group of friends that I went out with a lot instead of playing Modern Warfare 2 until 5 in the morning when I had school the next day, that sort of thing. But at the same time, like I probably wouldn't change that for the world because it's like some of my favorite memories.
No, I totally feel. I mean, that's how we fucking met, and like that's the reason why we've been friends for like what? 10 years.
No, it's just like one of those weird things where it's like I probably could have done that different, but I wouldn't. I don't know.
I've always had the mentality that like there's no like everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, no, I mean I truly believe that everything does happen for a reason. Like I don't know, I'm not religious at all, but like
not like a there's like a set plan in place for a reason like thing. Like I don't know if that's just me saying like everything happens for a reason, so I'm not stressing out about everything. But like it just genuinely feels like stuff just falls in place. Like there's no way to plan.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not. Like, I don't know. It's cool, and I don't know. It's just one of those things where it's like the world's just the way it is, and like you could like think there's like an alternate universe where you didn't make this decision, like the butterfly effect type shit, but.
Yeah, then you just sit there and think about that and regret everything. There's no point to that. Like,
yeah, I don't know. There's some book that you're like forced to read in high school where like this guy goes back in time and like changes the world because he stepped on a butterfly.
Yeah, it's called the Butterfly Effect.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, like that's like a huge fucking book and movie, I think. But yeah, no, it's.
That's like one of the only things in high school that actually intrigued me, though. Like, seriously.
Yeah, I mean it was alright. The only like for whatever reason, the only book that actually stuck out to me was fucking of Mice and Men. I read the shit. Yeah, like I read that in a weekend. And we were supposed to like read it like a chapter a day in class. It was like the most boring way to read a book ever. But like, I read it so fast.
Good for you. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I don't know. It was like also that like whole theory was like, like what if it actually comes out that Shakespeare didn't write half the shit that we think he did?
Right? But like, no way to fucking.
Because there's not like that theory that like this other guy wrote all the shit and like, and that like.
But like the other thing is like, would that actually matter? Because all that would do is just change the author's name.
Well, it would be a big thing, but it would also not matter.
Yeah, like obviously it's gonna be big. Like some people are like, oh, what the? We've been worshipping this dude forever, and clearly it's been this guy. But like, it would just become that guy.
Well, yeah, well he would just be known as like the biggest like plagiarism guy in the world because he's been doing this for like centuries and centuries and generations of people.
Yeah, would that mean that we would suddenly stop reading those books in school, stop like the movies, stop referencing it, like because obviously they're still good stories. Like,
no, they are good stories, but I feel like we should like those people that wrote it, we don't know anything about them if that's the case. I guess that's the point I'm getting at.
Yeah, but I mean, like I said again, like all that's gonna do is like we'll just have to research it and like look at that guy, and then like that's how it's gonna
Yeah.
It's like
I mean, at the same time, it doesn't.
Just like,
yeah, it's just something I think about, and it doesn't really even matter. Like.
Not to like invalidate your thoughts.
No, I know they don't matter. I just like think stuff like that all the time, and it doesn't even matter. I'm like so intrigued with like time and like time travel type shit, even though I know it probably will never happen. And
well, there's like this whole theory of like we actually have time travel like technology available, but we don't have it because the only reason why anyone would create time travel is to go back and fix something. But they would have already fixed it, so then there's no point in them creating the.
Well, yeah, and then there's also this thing where like I kind of got deep into like the like crazy part of YouTube, where like time travel is like, if it was to exist, it would have always existed.
Well, yeah, of course.
Because it's just eventually throughout the whole time and space thing, but. So I mean, honestly, if I was to choose anything, though, it would be like. Be able to go to other worlds and
but then that more beyond like dimension.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll just go ahead and go on that last like topic of music really fast and kind of go through that, where it's just a little bit more mellow towards the end, and we'll wrap it up. So I don't know. I guess like we both kind of just fell into like. Watching H3H3 podcast and finding out that like Post Malone is actually a pretty cool dude,
really chill, genuine, like,
and like actually like really intelligent. Like I don't know, I never thought that thinking about Post Malone. I always thought he was just a basic white rapper dude.
Like another run-of-the-mill guy who just had connections and worked his way up. And like I never really listened to his music. Like
No, like the only time I ever listen to his music is if like my wife has always been like a big fan of his, so like sometimes his songs will come on her playlist and I'll listen to it. Because I mean I just enjoy music in general, so I'm totally open to whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Like I had no issues with, like I always had like the whole like okay this is like.
But then like as like because they're like best friends or whatever, he's on like 3 or 4 of his podcasts or whatever. And like picking apart his brain all the time, and it's just so interesting that he's not a rapper, he's just a musician. He's not he doesn't want it.
Like I was just looping his fucking album like this last week, like his Sony album, and like there's such a diversity between the songs. Like a lot of them like have like rap-esque lyrics to them, like it's all very fast and lyrically.
Oh yeah.
Like there's like Feeling Whitney, and then like Broken Whiskey Glass, like they're all slow, like I think it's mostly on like guitar. There's not even like a beat per se to it.
Mm-hmm. And
then you have stuff like Rockstar, which sounds like a like the it doesn't even like I mean it sounds certainly better to me than like the like say like Little Pump's like Gucci Gang and stuff like that. Like,
oh God.
But like I certainly like Rockstar.
No, it's a good. All his music is good. It's feel good music, I guess, in a way. It's kind of like I don't know. It's kind of like 21 Pilots or NF. You could throw them on just about any time and you feel good. or
Yeah,
you feel
for
whatever they
for like
want you to
different
feel.
reasons though, you know, like they always have like very different views about it, but it's all a very positive vibe and like
Yeah, no, it
enjoyable.
doesn't make you feel. You don't have to be in a certain mood to listen to it. Like it's not like I don't know. Um, trying to think of something like I don't know, like a breakup song or something. Like you don't have to just be like down in the dumps because your girlfriend broke up with you because she, or you broke up with her because you caught her stealing your candy bar or something. I don't know, but you
Yeah, no,
know,
you're like
something really exaggerated like that. It's not like one of those songs where you're like in middle school and you think your crush is like you broke up with you, so you think your world's over, like or like that
yeah, I
sort of
mean
thing.
he has like he definitely has like emotional songs like I think it's I Fall Apart
Oh
where
yeah,
like
but at the same
it's
time,
all
like
entirely about like him like very clearly about like some sort of breakup he had and like but it's so good like it's
well, he even mentioned that that shit happened in high school and it's irrelevant. I think is that's the same song, right?
yeah I
Yeah.
mean
Okay.
so like but I mean like that aside like it's still like the lyrics are like from the
From a
song
good place, but at the same time, it doesn't make you feel like shit. I guess. Feel
yeah
like it's
like
from
it's
the heart. I guess not a good place, but like
yeah I mean there's a yeah, like I've just been getting in like a lot of artists lately that are just like you could like tell where the songs are coming from, like they have like a soul to them,
yeah. And then
and like
there's
they're not
Gucci,
even
and then
necessarily
there's
like
Gucci Gang, where it's like where were we at here? What?
well, like I get like it's catchy and like it has the whatever beat like you did
Yeah,
like
but
fine,
it's
that's
just
fine.
a song. It's not a.
Like it's just someone who wrote lyrics down that sounded good together, produced it, and then sung it. Like
Yeah, no. I mean, I catch
it was
myself
his job.
singing that stupid song because it's that catchy. Like somebody did something right, but
Yeah, I know. Like it's obviously catchy. Like that's how that it's probably
that's the
you know
point. But like at the same time, I wouldn't. I don't go looking up that song because I want to
I don't know. I just
re
get so much more excited about musicians that are like that have
soulful and you feel like you're living their life through their music, and it's
like they have a voice like that they're making music for a reason other than just to make music. Like yes, obviously like Post Malone has like his whole dream was to become a musician, but like
hmm,
he puts his voice in it. Like you can tell who he is.
yeah, yeah. You can definitely feel like him in the song. And I mean, like that's a lot of where our favorite like people are, you know, like NF and 21 Pilots, and you know, I don't know, Logic sometimes. Like I don't know, he has some of those songs where it's just feel good music, and
Yeah, I mean like Logic's like his most recent album is definitely more like, emotional based, but like
mm,
he had what was it like the album before that I think was the one that was like entirely just about space.
yeah, no, it's just his dream, like his childhood is like yeah, it's
Yeah, so
real.
like
It's a
just
really
like straight
cool like
space. But, like
thing. Yeah,
yeah, no, it's like a really cool album, but like it's not like anything like emotionally based. Like it was just like
yeah.
he had this inspirational idea to make an album about space, and he did that. And like it still has a voice, but it's not like you know, it's not like I don't know, like it's weird, you know.
Yeah, no,
I don't know
it's
how to
like one of those
articulate that.
things where like I know we could talk about music forever. And I guess the whole point of this is like I just wish people listen to lyrics more.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if it's that, but like, I just
Maybe
I think we have a lot
we're
of
just a whole
mainstream.
nother breed of people too. I don't know.
Yeah, man,
Cause
I'm
I mean,
actually convinced of that that we're just some other we were born the wrong time or something. Because like,
yeah,
Jesus, man.
yeah. I mean, music is just who we are almost. Like we're not like musicians ourselves, but at the same time, it's like, well, this feels good. Like I love listening to these stories. Like I will listen to how could you leave us and cry for the 500th time. I
No, no, like I get it. Like there's just like I have no issues listening to music constantly. Like I do. Like I just
no,
it's a
I
really
100% do if I'm not like watching something or I have to have sound. I have to I have to be like I don't know. It almost makes me feel like a person when I listen to music. It sounds weird.
but I mean like not even from like a just like a mental standpoint of like stability. Like it's just it's I always feel better when I listen.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I feel more numb, but then when I turn music on, I feel my emotions more. It makes me, I guess, connect to myself at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, music. I feel like music connects everyone, though. Like
Yeah,
that's certainly something that's gonna connect a lot of people. Because like that, I don't want I don't want this to go on for too long, but like
yeah,
like the whole like the Linkin Park the tribute concert for
yeah,
was like it was amazing because like they like the whole crowd like there was just no one cared who was next to them, like the whole crowd was
yeah.
just
No, they were all like crying, like
belting their lyrics and
singing their
crying and
hearts out,
just
like next to each other. They didn't care. They were there for Chester, and that's all they cared about.
exactly, and it was so amazing to see it because like I just
You know, I watched the whole thing, and I had chills the whole time because
no, yeah, you know, they just pan in the crowd just for those couple like seconds, and like you just see like just total strangers just right next to each other, like crying and
yeah, and now you'd see
singing.
like these people, like this total nerd, and then like this kid you can tell is just like popular almost his whole life, and they're both just singing their hearts out next to each other. It doesn't even matter who they are.
Yeah, like there was no walls. There was just
Yeah, it's
the
just that.
music and
Yeah, it's just what you want the world to be. I guess that's why we like music, is because it's what we want the world to be, and it's not that.
yeah, and then music brings us back into that.
Yeah, it brings us
Like
into that non-reality slash reality that is there, and it's more real, I guess. But I don't
real
know.
music.
Yeah, and real music, I guess. But yeah, I've like tried to explain that to my wife so many times, and she doesn't get it. But yeah, it's fine.
Was the it a real music thing?
Yeah. No, because the shirt that I bought, like it says that like right across the back.
Just real music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. There's like that's the one gripe they had, and I was like, that's his whole thing. Like he has a tattoo on his freaking wrist that says "real music." Like that's his thing. Like I don't know, but it's fine. Like I don't expect everyone to get it, and
No.
but yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll try and wrap this up. I don't know, but the whole point is just music's great, and I don't know, talking about it's fun and it makes you feel good, and listening to it's great. Maybe eventually
Oh
we can
yeah.
get to the point where we have an audience and they can tell us music to listen to and check it out.
Yeah. I mean, then even like we can fucking suggest stuff.
Yeah,
I'm
definitely
always
suggest
exploring
things
too.
to them and things like that. It's just, I think we've hit that wall in our friendship where we've got almost the same music taste now. Where, like, unless we
Yeah, like
find something brand new, we don't, like, say, hey, check this out.
because it's either stuff that we've like simultaneously found or
Yeah, no, I
like
feel
we
like we
haven't
found
really
21
listened to
Pilots,
or
like, at the same time, right before they blew up.
yeah,
Yeah,
like
because
obviously we were around like when they were first starting because like we were on there when it was like right before fucking
no, it was probably like 2 weeks. We knew about them before like a lot of people did, and then like that next like 2 weeks, like they just blew
yeah. So we're
up.
certainly not like hipsters that are like
Yeah,
we just got
no, it's not
just
like I
oh
found
yeah
them. Like I'm their manager. No, it's not that sort of thing.
yeah
It's
no it's not that sort of thing. It's just
yeah,
yeah.
no, it's not
And then
that.
now like we've been listening to NF for like what 2-3 years now or not even 3 years because
Yeah, no,
the longest
it
song was
was
like two
like
years.
when I found him probably at the end of his mansion like thing right before like therapy session came out.
Yeah, and then I think you introduced me a little bit before. No, it was after therapy session came out because I remember having that album and mentioned to go back on.
I guess before like this whole thing wraps up, I guess like the whole Sick World thing, like I wish he made music more because he makes like one song a year.
Gotta drop his name there.
Well,
No,
like
he's
I
good though.
love him
Like
so much. Like
no, seriously. Like every song you've sent to me of him has like immediately, if it's on Spotify, it's immediately dropped in my like mega dump playlist.
yeah, like I just found him because of the Discover Weekly or whatever the hell it's called, and like I check him like once a month just to make sure that he didn't drop something because it's just so under wraps, and I feel like not enough people know who he is.
Yeah,
Like I don't know anybody that's ever brought that up. Like nowadays, I saw like a little 5 year old with a 21 Pilots hoodie, and I was like, that's cool, but
right? Like when I got my tattoo on my wrist of the 25th, I figured like someone would recognize it, but literally I've had it for 2 years now, and one person has recognized it, like actually known what it was ahead of time of me explaining to them.
Yeah, but I mean, you just have their basic tag or their basic logo, right? You don't have the. Yeah, it's just their traditional.
But yeah, it's like the circle with the.
Yeah, it's just their basic for like logo, not like their fan logo or whatever, because it's a different.
But like a skeleton click thing, like which is.
Yeah.
To be cool, like I don't really understand why.
Well, the only reason I haven't got that tattoo still is because I don't want people to think I'm emo, because it looks so. If you didn't know what it was, you'd probably think I was into something creepy as fuck, because it's a skeleton key.
Yeah, it's a little odd, but I don't know. I mean, I feel like you should do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, I probably will. It's also just expensive because it's big.
Yeah, no, like I have another tattoo that I want to give, but I don't even. God damn it, dude! We gotta end this.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Before we go on another tangent, I guess we'll wrap it up for this week. I don't know if we're still gonna do another one Sunday or not, but I guess we will. Just maybe. I don't know.
Like we definitely need to like focus up on what we're talking
yeah, I definitely. I don't know. It's also fun to rant because I mean everybody does it.
Yeah, but I feel like it's gonna be harder for people like to find our shit because we've covered like probably 100 different topics in this.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess that's not the whole point though. Someone will find us eventually if they want to.
Yeah.
Like all they have to do is click on it, and then if they like it, they're gonna get sucked into it. So it's fine. But anyway, I guess I'm going to end this now and catch y'all later.